Whatever scrap piece of paper is nearby.
Yeah. All right. Punch it, Chewie.
We're good. We're live.
Oh.
The world can hear that. We're fine. Let's go.
Hello. Welcome. Thanks, Giggle, for that. This is session 17 of Roll for Severity's second D&D campaign. Hooray, we made it after a brief life happenings this month. I don't think we streamed all that much.
No, we were short 2 sessions this month.
But typically we stream live every Sunday. Was it?
Yeah, we only had 1 session of D&D this month. That was from my campaign.
Oh yeah, and Syl was away for hospital things.
Yeah.
So normally this session here will stream every second Sunday at noon PST. You can find us at twitch.tv/rollforseverity. Obviously, if you're already here, you found it. I am Miss Wolfinger, the DM for this campaign, and I am joined by the 3 lovely people that you see before you. We have Kit, Tom, and Giggle. So before we get underway with this long-awaited session, just a few things to go over. First thing, each month we donate a portion of all income generated by Roll for Severity to charity. That will include things like direct donations, bit subscriptions, and any sales from the merch store. So this month's charity is YES, Youth Empowerment and Support Services. It's an Edmonton-based organization that provides low-barrier shelters, temporary housing, and individualized support for youth ages 15 to 24. You can check out their website at yess.org or on Twitter at yessorg. Having previously mentioned the store, Roll for Severity has one. It's full of cool swag. You can get masks. If you're not into masks, you can get mugs. If you're not into mugs, you can get baby clothes. You know, the usual fanfare is there.
What can go wrong?
The RFS store is up on tpublic.com/user/rollforseverity. And there's also a link somewhere below the stream that you can click. The final point to make is this is not a pre-made 5th ed campaign. We have varied rules, we use different player mechanics, and we make often like weird in-game adjustments. So the rules as you know them will not always be as written. So fair warning, we're gonna get super homebrewed up in here. Without further ado, to my players, and good luck with this. What happened last time?
We'd started to prep to get a mayor lynched. There was a whole whack of things we did. So we found the bodies of the people who went missing on the mayor's expedition.
Samuel and Mizo.
Yep. They were murdered, and not by creatures of the forest. Fancy dagger to the gut.
Unless there's some kind of knife-wielding tentacle.
Yeah, but we also found the knife.
We did also find the knife.
Which belonged to the mayor. Yeah. We interrogated a couple of people in town. We bullied them, 100%.
Yes. Francis and Lionel.
Yeah, Francis and Lionel, and found out that the mayor encouraged them to deal with Francis Camille, because the mayor didn't like the idea of him pursuing his daughter. So, what better way to deal with a childhood crush than a murder?
Mayor Willenby may or may not be a racist.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the elves.
There may be a racism involved. I think the kid in question was a tiefling, so...
Was he tiefling?
I seem to recall...
I thought he was an elf.
His journal says the kid looks like a devil.
Oh, yeah. He did describe it that way for sure.
That could apply to any number of D&D species.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that it was...
I have elf in my head, but when I was writing Mayor Willenby's diary, I was trying to make it very aggressive. And I do recall saying that he looked like a devil, which definitely screams of teeth.
Yeah, I thought it had been mentioned that he was an elf at some point, but either way.
I mean, back when Star Trek was first airing in the 60s, people complained that Spock looked like Satan.
No,
I'm not kidding, that's real. That is 100% real.
That haircut is of the devil, that's fair. Yes, in fact, you learned that this childhood crush was actually a planned wedding.
Yeah, Dia was making her wedding dress. And so we had we found out that most of the town liked the two boys that got murdered. Also, the mayor's daughter's dead. Not our fault.
We didn't do it.
Yep, this one's legit not our fault.
Yeah, for once we didn't do it.
To be fair, we have not murdered anyone yet.
This is true.
Correct. Wilma was devoured. Yes, that's right. I can fix that for you.
Oh boy.
But basically, we had set up a very elaborate plan to get the mayor down to the docks and have a bunch of the townsfolk listening in and getting him to confess to his crime. Or, blackmailed into confessing his crime. It's not one of the things.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate from what I recall. Do you guys want to add anything else to that?
We met up with one of Gimli's employees? Associates?
Yes, Tallow.
Yes. She gave us some stuff that we had asked for. I may have facilitated her being able to eat one of the local boys, which doesn't mean she owes me a favor. So we have recruited her into our gigantic plot to bring down the mayor or make something really funny happen. We're not sure what yet.
Yeah, she was also I have my notes that she was a 6.5 on the buff scale.
Yes.
What was that, Marsh?
I was gonna say, I also remember we were talking to Endris about the next part. I don't remember if we had the follow-up with her.
Yeah, Anderson decided and agreed to follow along with us.
Yep. So I'm giving her my train ticket, and I will pickpocket one at the station. Or buy one, but it would be more convenient to
pickpocket. Yes, because you currently have 3 tickets to the Eisenbolt, but Endris is joined your party, at least for the near future. Yes. Unsure how long she will stay.
Yeah. Well, I was remarking on this before the session. She either needs to find out that we're not the heroes soon or never.
Yeah, and we also determined that it's probably going to be Naroke or Marsh who fucks it up. Because
I'm like 90% sure we've all said our real names in front of her multiple times.
You say that, but I'm the one who keeps forgetting that Marsh has taken the alias Swamp for no good goddamn reason.
Actually, if we're gonna screw up any of them, I think mixing up Marsh and Swamp, she's probably just not gonna bring it up. She probably just will think it's a nickname.
Exactly, cute nickname. I've also had Endris call you the wrong thing.
Well, to be fair, we've all identified each other as our actual names. Naroke's the only one who technically has to have an alias, but even then, we've gotten around that with saying that Naroke is his what was it that Darwin is his first name? Naroke's the last?
We decided Darwin is his first name, Naroke is his last. I think that's what we landed on.
Yep.
So, whoops, we fucked up explanation.
And it worked.
Yep, Endris bought it.
I still don't have a name as far as Endris is concerned.
Which is so interesting.
We've all called you Nick at least once while she's been around, so I think she's caught on. You never formally introduced yourself to her.
In my head, the Heroes of the Shard to Endris is a bigger part than just the sums of the heroes itself. So you work with the heroes even if you are not the main fronting 5.
Part of the auxiliary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you were the hype man.
PR branch.
Oh boy.
Well, that sounds pretty all-encompassing as for what happened last time. So, here we are. Night is beginning to fall, and you have this elaborate plan. You were able to procure the wedding dress by rechecking Samil's closed down, abandoned tailor shop. It is indeed, it's not tiny, but you think Tallow's gonna have to maybe suck it in a little bit to fit.
Let it out in certain spots.
Yeah, it's not complete, but it's more or less doable.
Yeah.
Because of course Samil never got to finish his magnum opus before his inevitable fate.
Just cut some of the basting stitches holding it together.
Well, as long as Talow's facing forward and we just keep like all like the bungee cords on the back, we're fine.
Yeah.
Marsh is just there, like making sure it doesn't
Might
open.
be.
It's held together with double-sided tape and staples. It's fine.
Seam rips, Marsh just catches mending. Seam rips again, mending.
It's awesome. He's
Don't
just
pay it.
hiding under the train. So that was one component, was getting the wedding dress. I believe you guys wanted to get townsfolk into the docks, hiding about, and you certainly have a lot of allies. Or maybe not allies, but you know, you're friendly with Tally from Tally's Tavern, you're friendly with Coral.
We brought the
ladies
entire
and
town freaking crab. I'm pretty sure most of the town likes us. And that was the first thing we did.
Several times.
Several times we brought them crab.
Not that
They only remember one.
I remember.
Yeah, so you know, getting townsfolk is not an issue to convince them. Are you trying to say like, what is your deal? Come to the docks at midnight. Don't ask questions. What's your story?
Something big is going down at the docks at X time whenever we're doing it. I think we decided on midnight. And I think people are naturally curious enough that they hear something big is going down the docks. You should hide on the boats surrounding.
Yeah, hide in the boats and stay out of sight is one of the key things that we're telling them, is like, make sure you're out of sight.
We're sort of relying on the train wreck impulse.
Love it. Okay.
I mean, considering how fast we got this town to go into a bloodthirsty mob to try and attack the mayor's house in the first place, I don't think it's going to be hard.
They're already pretty riled. You guys just gave them the push.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say if you guys kind of split and just, you know, purple monkey dishwashers around town. The docks are super busy. There was a big shipment that came in, so there's crates and whatnot everywhere. It's not super cleaned right now, so there's lots of good vantage spots and boats to hide in. What was another component of that plan? Lionel.
I was going to start a whisper campaign amongst the guard to the effect of trying to weaken the relationship between Prada and the rest of the guard, or Plata. Is it Prada or Plata?
It's Plata with an L.
Plata, okay. I'm gay. I keep going to Prada. If I can't break the relationship between Plata and the mayor, which I'm pretty sure I can, I'm going to break the relationship between Plata and the rest of the guard. Just kind of pointing out, hey, Plata got to like sit in that manor high and dry while the rest of you were facing off that mob in front of the mayor's house. You guys have been keeping the peace, and Plata hasn't been helping out at all.
Yeah, okay, love it. So that's your big mission. And seeing as you are friendly with a certain amount of guards, the two that saw you coming back from the jungle, they were very impressed, very pleased with you guys. It's not entirely unfathomable that the lies, or the story you're spinning rather, is pretty easy to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that Plata was also out there in front of the mob, but people forget things.
When you say it with a smile and a nod, and yeah.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is when we went and saved the mayor, because that was during our last time loop that we didn't reset, we also, because we had still gotten the mob riled up, did we not? Like when we...
Yes.
Yes.
So we still had the two guards that were inside, and us commending them on how good of a job they were doing. So we got those two who were like guarding that front door, who were like, it's like giving them that like well done kind of things. They at least know
Right.
who we are.
The first loop you put them to sleep, but the last loop you were all buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Okay, so that's the guards. That's Tallow in place. That's the townspeople in place.
We were gonna get Umath on a box because like there was near Tallow, because Umath can use her voice.
Correct. The voice of anyone that he has consumed, he can mimic perfectly, and he
Yep.
will up.
And so I believe we were gonna have Nick like within like basically hiding behind the box, communicating to Umath.
I'm doing some Cyrano de Bergerac shit with Umath.
So I'm picturing you guys are going to go to the docks. So your backs are facing the water. You're going to set up some crates, some large crates, like right in the center of the docks that you can hide behind. Like, is that kind of the picture that you're?
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah, if I would rather not have to just like hang off the dock in the water. I can do that. I would prefer not to.
However you want to do it. How do you want the mayor to come to the docks? Do you want to
Well-
not be on the docks and be near the docks?
I think what we want for dramatic effect is for Tallow pretending to be, and I have a disguise kit, so if necessary, it's going to be dark, but we can like do Tallow up a bit more to look like the mayor's daughter. I want for the dramatic effect. I think it's best if she's standing at the end of the pier with her, stand. Obviously not with her back to the mayor because that dress is being held together with a lot of bungee cords right now. But at the end of the pier, and then nearby, possibly behind a crate, me and Umath.
Yeah, and then like we had sent Francis and Lionel to tell the mayor that his daughter was the one who had been asking around about Smil's disappearance and that she had threatened them.
Right. Right. Thank you.
That was how we were getting the mayor down to the dock. And we had strongly encouraged the two of them to not fuck it up.
Yeah, in fact, which is the one that was it Lionel that was a little more strong-willed than Francis?
Correct.
Yeah, Lionel was the one who had set the chest on his lap.
Okay,
Yes.
so just for a little extra encouragement, I'm gonna take Lionel aside just before we send him off, and I'm like, "So, Lionel, you're on board here, right?"
Yep, I'm on board as I'll ever be.
All right, because if you fuck us and this falls apart, you know who we're coming after first, right?
Well, I want to say Francis, but I guess it's me.
It would be you. Francis is much easier to catch.
Yeah, that's dumbass. You can insight him if you want, but
Okay, let me pull up my character. First roll of the session.
Woohoo!
woo! I should look at what you got. To the tabs.
To the tabs. 14.
14. Yeah, you're buying it. He doesn't seem squirrely. Even like not in the Francis way, but he's not kind of like, looking around. He's not twitchy. He seems resigned to his fate.
Okay. Just kind of pat him on the shoulder and says, "Tomorrow morning we'll be gone. You get to go back to your life."
Hooray!
So exciting.
He's thrilled to go back to that post office with the old ladies.
You get the sense. Oh,
A
go on.
union gig is a union gig.
The feeling is that if the mayor is out, his highfalutin status is maybe out with it. And all the perks that came with being the mayor's little convoy are gonna go up in smoke.
Yeah, but it's either that or, existence goes up in smoke, so really,
Yeah.
he
So
can make
he's
his
taking
choice.
it.
Yeah. The other option is a critical existence failure.
Damn.
Or existence not found. Okay, so that's Wilma, that's Umath. What are you saying to Umath?
Just the effect of, hey, could I get we had a fairly chill interaction with him.
Yep.
As I
We also
that last go around.
we also got to see his family.
We also got to see his family. So I guess we pop in and say, "Hey, here's the word from the family. While we're at it, could you do us a favor?"
Umath, he'll be like, I haven't heard from them in many moons. I'm pleased. And his disposition is all just happy to know that they're okay.
Yeah.
So it's unconventional, and brooders typically don't wander from their spots, and Umath seems to have really set roots here in this abandoned lighthouse, but he's willing to follow you to the docks. So
Sweet.
check. And he's happy to go along with the plan since he just has to mimic whatever's being whispered into his...
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do much in the way of planning or plotting or anything like that. He's just say what is told.
Plus, if he's got some memories of Wilma, he knows how miserable she was.
He's just gonna be living in the lighthouse forever, so that's just gonna be like the murder lighthouse.
Yeah, don't go to the top of the lighthouse where you die.
Yeah, okay.
It was boarded up until you guys unboarded it up.
Listen, don't worry about it. We're leaving tomorrow.
Endress helped.
I think we take the underground path in the loops in the future, because we didn't need to go through the bricks anymore.
No, we still went through the bricks.
Did you really?
Yeah, we found the underground path on our way out of that last loop.
Oh,
We
thought, like,
still
that was
absolutely
something
went
we-
through the front door.
God,
I
there's
thought
so
that
many loops.
happened previously.
Man, time travel's whack.
Uh-huh.
Okay, town folks, Francis, Lionel, Wilma, Tallow, the guard, all gotta...
In regards to, like, by the docks, would there be any large crates that essentially we could have, like, the side of it, like, quasi-nailed on, or, like, set, like, basically in place that would be tall enough for Naroke to be standing in?
Is your plan just to Kool-Aid man your way out of the crate if things go bad?
Hell yeah!
You know what?
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
I would say so. The amount of stuff that comes here varies in size and whatnot. And you could probably convince someone to, if you help move the product, to empty a crate that is tall enough to fit you.
Oh, 100% I would.
Yeah. So if you're willing to put in the legwork, they will let you borrow a crate to hide in.
Yeah, and all it'd be is like I climb in and the lid just gets like placed in. Doesn't even need to be nailed in as long as it's not going to just fall off while they're talking.
Yeah. For sure, you can position yourself that way. Marsh, where do you want to be when this plan is enacted?
I'll probably just kind of, I'll pick a random. I could actually just be underwater, I guess. But now I'll probably just like hide in a boat or something. I'll kind of be sitting in the backish for this one.
Are you gonna try and rile up the crowd again, like you?
I kind of think the crowd's gonna kind of probably in a pretty good place, unless things start going south for some reason and this doesn't go to plan. I might intervene, but I think this is kind of all kind of laid out.
A well-placed ooh at the right spot.
Exactly.
Well,
No,
then,
he didn't.
well, and even the like, he was behind the murder, just like in case the townsfolk are kind of dumb and not listening.
Yeah, so you're like
looking like at a script before the reveal.
You got cue cards.
that's perfect. You're the hype man.
I'm suddenly imagining him standing there. It's like something the mayor says, then just like holds up the big card to the group and.
Oh man.
It says boo on it.
I just have all the the signs and like the protest signs pre-made. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Just
Handing them out.
Pitchfork, torches, obligatory sign.
I love it. Okay, well, I think that was all the bases covered that you guys had mentioned you wanted enacted for the plan. Tallow, of course, owes you that favor for giving her a snack. And as the night falls, you guys can help her into the dress. It bulges at the short sleeves a little bit, you know, because she's pretty hefty. And she will wait behind or by the crates, I guess, where she's supposed to be Wilma. As far as changing her appearance, you can get from any of the townsfolk that she had, you know, kind of semi, like, hair as long as mine, just kind of little bat shoulder height, blonde. So you can...
That was already blonde, right?
Yeah, her hair was blonde, so that's convenient.
Yeah, so just brush the hair over the ears, put some extensions in if it's not long enough, pin it up a bit if it's too long, some stuff around the face to look a little more human and a little less elfy.
That is a perfect.
How tall was the daughter?
Tallow height.
Because
Well, that's easy.
I was basically wondering, like, do we need to take Tallow and have them standing in a shallow box so it looks like they're standing on the box?
That's cute. No, I believe... I don't think I gave you a specific height.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I ever thought about it that far. I didn't think this was ever going to happen.
Yeah, you thought we were going to forget about the mayor. Little did you know, your players are all obsessive people.
Yeah. It's like
I
there's
just
some...
like to ruin some lives before we left.
Perfect. It all started with, let's go find those bodies. I was like, wait, what now?
And that spearheaded the last session and this one.
So night night has descended. The townsfolk have been coerced to hide, at least the ones that are interested, invested enough, the ones that like you. You even notice a few members of the guard, not in their guard uniform, but hiding amongst some of the townsfolk. There's also a few members of the guard in their guard uniform, but like quite a bit of ways from the docks. They're not in the thick of it, but they're still nearby. You're not sure what their deal is.
Okay.
Probably should keep an eye on them just in case it goes sideways.
Question, is there a hole in the lid of the box that I can look out and watch?
No, but there would be nothing stopping you from making one. It doesn't have a peephole already.
Okay, while we're waiting for things to happen, I'd probably take out like a dagger and like squiggle a little hole so I can watch. I mean, if we're starting a shit show, I might as well get to watch the train wreck.
This is true. This is true. Umath had earlier slowly slunk his way under cover of darkness. I imagine before the townsfolk got there, because he can be a little off-putting. You would have told him when a good time to go was.
Yeah.
And as you all lay in wait, Tallow, with her hair kind of flowing in the slight breeze, and her dress rippling, bursting at the seams every time she takes a breath, you can see in the distance Francis and Lionel with 3 figures in tow behind them.
Okay.
As they approach, you recognize the tall, robust form of Captain Plata, the old, frail form of Butler Huckins, and the also kind of old but stout form of Mayor Willenby, as they follow along with your 2 little con men towards the docks. They get closer, and Lionel kind of whispers something to the mayor and kind of pushes him gently ahead of the group towards the docks. And he's squinting at the form of Tallow. And surprise kind of grows on his face, and he takes a quick step and kind of steps back like he's in disbelief, and he's slowly approaching. There's an eagerness to him, but he almost just seems like he can't believe his eyes, and he's slowly approaching the docks.
I'm gonna, once he's close enough to like that everyone can see him, but far enough away that like Tallow's identity is still obscured, I'm gonna whisper to Umath, "Don't come any closer, Daddy."
Great.
I'm gonna be saying "Daddy" a lot for the next 15 minutes.
See,
it's gonna be very difficult for all of us.
See, now,
will...
I'm wondering whether it's better to use Daddy or better to use Father, on account of Father brings out this air of disappointment.
This is true,
Daddy's
but
funny.
Daddy tugs at the heartstrings.
Oh. Yeah, and so you can hear this, Nick, because you're right by Umath, and before he speaks, there's like a low kind of purr coming from him as he finds the voice, and parrots back, "Don't come any closer, Daddy."
Okay, does he stop?
Yeah, sorry, and the mayor will totally, like, taken aback. You can hear, everyone nearby can hear, like, a sharp, like, gasp, as this is almost the proof that he needs, that this Wilma could be alive after all this time of her gone missing. And he says, Wilma, my girl, is that you? Is it really you?"
Let's see. Next we're gonna be, "Why'd you do it, Daddy? Why'd you send him away?" You don't have to repeat everything I say. We'll just assume that, like...
repeats it, and Mayor Willenby, his face is going to scrunch with concern and say, "I did it for the family. I did it for you."
You did it for you. You always hated him.
"Wilma, my dear, you were destined for so much more than a tailor."
Is that why you killed him?
"I don't know what you heard, Wilma, but that's not true."
Don't you lie to me, Daddy. Don't you lie to me now.
Did we give Tallow the dagger?
We didn't talk about it now, but I think that was what you discussed before.
Yeah.
It makes sense for her to have the dagger.
I'm gonna nudge her to pull out the dagger.
Yep. And Tallow, still kind of face shrouded in darkness, will pull it out and kind of present it and let it gleam in the light so it can be seen. And Willenby, at seeing it, is like a grave look is going to cast over his face, and he's going to say,
"You know where I found this."
Wilma, I'm so sorry. You have to understand. It was for the family. It was for the greater good. You'll understand when you're older.
The greater good? You killed the boy I love.
You can all hear like a hushed, like, gasps. No, not like a Jerry Springer ooh. The like a kind of quiet hush, like gasps through the townsfolk that are in hiding, and Willenby for a second kind of looks to the noise, but everyone's in darkness and he can't see. And he says, Wilma, please just come home. I've missed you so much. We can talk more there. And he'll take another step towards Tallow with his hand outstretched.
Let's see. I'm gonna have her hold out the knife, point first, because this seems like something that she would do. She doesn't feel safe. I probably took Coach Tallow a little bit before this.
I think so.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have Umath say something to the effect of, I want to hear you say it. I don't want there to be any more lies between us.
Wilma, I am the cause of his death. But please, I did it for us. Please understand. Your life would have been over with that boy. Nothing would have amounted to nothing.
Okay, now Marsh would be a good time for a well-placed ooh.
Yeah, I was thinking before the mayor actually admitted it, I was just gonna sneak and it's like, I think he actually did it, but now like he's fully confessed, it's just like, yeah, I'll just be making like hyping up crowd noises, whatever those may be. I can't think of any good lines.
Yeah, no, I think as you're kind of hyping up, I imagine Coral's beside you, and you're like, I can't believe him all along. I always knew, or I had my suspicions, or whatever. And Coral is just getting so angry because she recognizes that dagger, and she's hearing what you're saying, and she's like, that no good. Like,
especially since we brought the dagger to her the day before.
Yeah.
I can actually probably, I think the way Marsh would probably also throw in there, which may not be the best way to say it, is it's like, man, it really sucks not having a tailor now.
Right behind you, you can hear from a man you've never met before, I'll drink to that!
Yeah.
Kind of whispering it. Okay, so I think at this point, with the mayor openly admitting it to Wilma, even though the townsfolk and guards are still in hiding, their murmurs have become more discernible, and Willenby is starting to realize that you're not alone on the docks, or that they're not alone, rather.
Do you have like something that creates a lot of light, not just a light spell, but something that creates a lot of light?
1 second here. Sadly,
I want a spotlight on his face.
Sadly, the only light source spell I have is Firebolt. And I don't think I can.
I have daylight.
Oh,
Yeah,
daylight?
I have the daylight spell.
Oh boy.
Can you put a spotlight on Mayor Willenby?
I am going to put a spotlight on Mayor Willenby.
Firebolt to the face.
This
So-
is where we get the fireball magic surge.
Yeah, I'd say roll me that surge first and foremost.
So many dead people.
This could go very badly.
I would laugh so hard if this is the fireball. Nope, 19. I do not surge.
That's
Damn it.
perfect. So I believe daylight is like a 60-foot square, or something like
6
that.
foot radius
So-
sphere of light spreads out from a point you choose within range. The sphere is bright light and sheds dim light for additional 60 feet. You can choose a point on an object you're holding or one that isn't being worn or carried. This light shines from the object it moves with it, completely covering the affected object with an opaque object such as a bowl box of light. So yeah, basically just cast it on any rock at his feet.
Right. That's easy enough. I would say there's some sort of debris that you can do that on. And his reaction is going to be much like the rest of the townsfolk.
Oh
where
god,
as
my
soon as-
eyes!
Exactly. So suddenly it comes and he's shielding himself and he kind of hisses in
Yeah.
pain.
I'm gonna have Tallow dip out at that point.
Okay,
Just up
perfect.
behind a crate or something, and then
Just
in my
in
own
case.
voice, yell, "Murderer! You're a murderer!" and see if I can rile the crowd up into like a full riot.
Lovely.
Actually, question. From where I am, can I see the Huck and Plata? What are they doing right now?
So they've approached like the kind of where the start of the dock would be, but Lionel and Francis, they're not holding them back as if they're struggling, but they seem to be like as if they're placed there to say like, hey, wait it out, let's see what Wilma has to say. But now things are escalating, and you can see Plata trying to push past them.
Okay. Naroke will hold his position for now, but he's ready to move out in the event that Mayor Boy tries to GTFO.
Okay. So, Dominic, you're screaming murderer and trying to rile them up. Marsh, what are you going to do?
I guess I'll probably like it's been like if the mayor tries to run, I might throw a sleep spell or something. I'm also looking to see if like the daylight is like this is a bit of a long thing, but at some point Marsh might think Talon's a vampire or something, so Marsh is looking at Talon to see how she's
Daylight is not sunlight.
Ah, okay.
I am currently running a bunch of sessions with vampires. Daylight is not sunlight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a completely different spell.
You're not throwing tomatoes or anything at him. You're just laying in wait. Okay. What was the yeah? So if you're kind of chanting murderer, half the people that were close enough heard him admit to murdering, essentially being the cause of death of Samil, for the family. And people, even though they were told to like hide, are coming out from the docks, are stirring, are standing. Obviously, they can be well seen now. And they're chanting along with you, like charlatan and murderer and how dare you and
this is just kind of like out of character. Didn't 2 people die?
Yeah, Samil and
One of them was Mizo, but
It's true.
honestly, he was ancillary. His murder was ancillary. Samil was the more popular one, dear.
Yeah, I guess like I was just trying to think. It's like would like adding the other guy into like this whole murder thing like make it more juicy or just not really have an effect. I forgot who the other guy was, so I think that's indicative of maybe we'll keep that one under wraps.
It'd be worth whisper. Like people will make the connection because Mizo also never came back.
Justice for Mizo 2021.
Yeah, Marsh, what happened to Mizo?
Haven't seen that guy in a while.
Hashtag what happened to Mizo?
So people are kind of, they're not swarming the docks when they're getting out from behind crates and whatnot, but they're like kind of getting closer if they're in a position to do so. If they can kind of step off a boat onto the dock, they will. And the mayor, having noticed that Wilma, Tallow rather, has ducked out behind a crate, is no longer there. He's pale, his eyes are wide, and he's looking back to Plata, who is now running onto the dock, and he's trying to run back to him.
I'm going to cast Hold Person.
On
The mayor.
On the mayor.
Mayor, you're not running anywhere.
Was Hold Person a cantrip?
No, it is not a cantrip. So let's see if I blow him up.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see
you
what
blow
happens.
up the mayor.
You explode the mayor.
Nope, another 19.
Another 19.
So
Magic
he needs.
works.
So he needs to make me a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. That's really lucky that I did make a bullshit sheet for him on the event that this was gonna
Connor
happen.
gets +0 on everything, so.
It's a 4.
Yeah, he fails. As long as I am concentrating, which I'm currently standing in a box and have no one who can see me, he cannot move.
Does hold person work as in like mid stride you're suddenly just frozen, or do you just kind of go to
Paralyzed for the duration. I'm going to do full.
Paralyzed? I think
It's going to be full on, just like the mask, where it's like freeze and like as like mid stride.
Love it. Okay, then that is how he is being currently held. How his person is held. So Plata will. He's concerned and he's shouting out like, Maya Willenby, we gotta goes now, and he's kind of concerned as to why he suddenly stopped running. And when he gets to him, he's gonna tug on his arm. And I assume the mayor as.
Like, the mayor can make more wisdom saving throws to try and break free from it. Like, because then at the end of each turn, they can try and make another wisdom saving throw.
Right. So before that 6 seconds is up, are you going to do anything?
No, he's currently held for the first 6 seconds. He can make another attempt.
All right.
That will Though I imagine in his panic state, he's also probably not exactly too focused on, I need to break free from this. More of a, oh dear God, I'm going to die.
It's very true. Does a 10 break free?
No.
Yeah, so then he's currently still held. So I'm not super familiar with whole person, and I wonder if Plata grabbing the mare, if his body just goes limp as he's dragged away.
He's paralyzed, so like it's not like his body can't move. He cannot move himself.
Okay.
He can be moved.
Yeah, so Plata could technically grab him, throw him over his shoulder, and try and fireman run him out of here.
Which would be smart, but I think because Plata doesn't know what's going on, when he's grabbing him by the arm, he's like immediately booking back as quick as he can, so Willenby's dead weight kind of drags Plata down, and he's currently trying to assess what the heck's going on as quick as he can. Huckins is shouting from beyond the dock, shouting for the guards that were kind of standing off to the side, that are in uniform. And one of the two comes running, and the other one kind of stays back, unsure of what to do.
I think we need to rile up the crowd more. They're not swarming Plata and the mayor.
My default would be maybe starting a fire, but that probably would be good if we're in like...
Just light the boats on fire. That'll get them off the
Starting
boats.
a fire.
It just gets people going.
Can I roll for rile up crowd?
Yeah, for sure. Just don't have rats do it.
Wait, who has the bag of rats?
Marsh has the bag of rats.
Okay, is this a situation that would benefit from 1 to 20 rats?
I don't think so. Because we're trying to make we're trying to make the crowd angry at the mayor, not make the crowd freak out because there's rats and get distracted from the mayor.
The rats will have their time.
Bag of rats, yeah. We'll use you sometime.
Okay, so what am I rolling for rile up crowd?
Oh, right. Would that be persuasion?
I'm not lying, so yes.
Yeah.
The persuasion performance.
Oh, that's a good point. You can give me one or the other, whichever you prefer. Performance makes sense. And that was 8. Ooh, okay. Yeah. So you some choice words. I don't know what those choice words are.
Don't let him get away.
Get him, or yeah.
You don't let him get away. He's trying to run. He's trying to run away from this.
Yeah, that's perfect. And that's kind of the spark that you need. So the two, let's say there's these two men that were kind of approaching the boat to try and get off onto the dock, and Coral, pardon me, takes off like a basset hound after the mare, and there's currently a tug of war between Coral and Plata to try and pull the mare as people continue to swarm the docks there. Go on.
No, never mind. I was just thinking out loud. It's just like, I wonder if I should just kind of like try to like stop Plata, or maybe he's kind of making it worse by keep doing what he's doing.
I think we try to keep our involvement at this stage to a minimum.
Yeah.
We play it where it lays at this point.
Marsh is, I guess, while everyone's getting riled up, Marsh just kind of like jumps out and then I guess hangs out near Tallow.
And Umath and Nick.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just all Scooby-Doo behind a crate at this point.
Yeah.
Naroke is in a crate.
Yeah, I'm in the crate.
We're behind Naroke's crate.
We can get like 5 more people back there. It's fine.
You could probably get out of the crate now.
I'm still concentrating on hold person. So it's like if I leave the crate, if anything happens to me, I then have to start making rolls. But it's like if I'm in the crate, no one knows I'm here. So I've got a full minute that he has to keep trying to make wisdom saves.
Yep. So now that Coral has been trying to pull back the mare from Plata, he's actually going to loosen his grip and he's going to pull out his sword and kind of threaten some of the townsfolk that are encroaching, and he's going to shout, back with yous! Gods, get over here! And the one guard that had left from the duo comes running, and there's also 2 more in their guard uniforms from another area that are running full tilt towards the docks, and they have their weapons drawn too. But they seem really concerned, like they don't want a fight. So they're ready for one, but they don't want this. Whereas Plata seems pretty angry and kind of bloodthirsty.
And I try to shoot the sword out of Plata's hand. Just peek around from behind the crate and try to shoot it out of his hand.
As you nat 1 and just put it around through the back of the mayor's skull.
Yeah, or unless somebody's got like a heat metal or something, that would be more.
I don't have heat metal yet.
Yeah, no, I have weird spells. I don't got anything like that.
Weird spells are good. I think you can absolutely make an attempt though to just notch an arrow and. Yeah, so it'd just be an attack roll, I'd say.
Yeah. 25.
Oh yeah, that's some precision aiming right there. And you're able to like right by the fingertips too. So not only does it start to like knock it out of his hand, but it's so close and like touches him that he freaks right out and kind of throws it up. And seconds later, you hear the sound of it falling into the water.
Ah!
Nice.
And we'll do just another hold person. It's 8.
Nope.
Or the mirror.
Yeah, Mayor, you done goofed.
Marsh kind of wants to go in the water and pick up that sword.
You can get it later,
Probably a normal sword.
Just a normal sword, my dude.
I know, it's just shiny.
Listening in the daylight at night.
Daylight at night, yeah.
How long does daylight last for? Sorry, an hour?
Spells, daylight.
Daylight. Third level. 1 hour, yeah. Okay. So that's fine. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's 1 hour and not concentration.
Yeah, that dock is gonna be glowing for a while, actually.
The townsfolk that you didn't get to come are like, what the hell? I'm trying to sleep.
It's only 60 feet. The people in this side of town don't even know what's going on. It's fine. It's once we get the fire going, that's when they're gonna be like, what the hell is going on?
Why is the town burning? So when Plata had drew his sword initially before it was knocked out of his hands, Coral and the townsfolk that were swarming back up, because none of them came prepared for a full-on, like, a fight.
Yep.
So fearsome Plata having his weapon was definitely, like, a scary sight to them, and they seemed to be backing off. But now that his weapon is out, Coral, letting go of the mare and is no longer trying to pull him back, takes a step back and launches a big, meaty fist into Plata's face. And she misses. It doesn't make a solid connection, but she does charge into him, kind of pushing him over. And that was the spark that got the rest of the townsfolk to swarm Plata and the mare. So from where you guys are, you can't see the mare anymore. He's been dragged back by some of the shorter townsfolk. And the rest of the beefier ones are wailing into Plata, who is San's weapon right now.
What are the other guards doing? Because there was 3 other guards that were en route.
Correct. So the 3 other guards who seemed like, man, it feels wrong to draw our weapons on these people. They don't have anything, and these are friends and family and whatnot. They're still concerned, but they are trying to subdue some of the townsfolk. They're on the docks. They're fighting back, and it is becoming more chaotic now that there's actual fights and people are getting hurt. So they are fighting with the townsfolk, not with weapons.
Yeah, what if we got to tip this in the favor of the townsfolk here?
Do we? We've got like what 30 some odd townsfolk versus 3 guards and a plata on the ground.
I mean, I could make the guards like me. Probably convince them to do something. It's just, do we want them to just kind of like stand back, or just kind of maybe like join in?
I think we want them to just go home. I think we're like, do you really want to get it into this over fucking Plata and the mayor?
Yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll just kind of like slither near the guards and let's see here. Yeah. Marsh is just gonna try to handle this magically. So I will. I mean, we're hearing yours too, so I'm gonna cast Charm Person as a 2nd level spell. Lets me target 2 people, and saving throw is DC Wisdom 13.
Oh, well, that's a 10. Flat 10.
Hey, cool.
I'm gonna say it was for both. Did you roll the surge?
Oh yeah.
In case you blow them up.
Oh, look.
In case we explode.
Yeah, suddenly we have a couple of fireballs going off in the middle of all the townsfolk. So, whew.
Yeah, you don't surge. So the 2 guards that you recognized but weren't in uniform, that were just lying in wait, their posture eases, because I imagine that's what Charm Person does, and
it just kind of like gets them to listen to me a little bit better than they normally would. So I guess with this kind of like over them, I would just kind of it's like just try to convince them that basically like this situation's a little too dangerous for them right now. People are kind of a little bit riled. 30 people versus 2 guards isn't going to work pretty well, so probably want to sneak out now rather than later. So
Get out now while your head is still intact.
they think that logic's really sound. And before long, I'm going to say these weren't the smartest guards in the bunch. You hear the noise of them hauling ass off the ship the other way, or the boat rather, it's not a ship, as they dive into the water and start swimming to shore. So they can...
I didn't mean that part, but that works too.
I think they don't want to be on the docks. You've convinced them that this is bad, so they're going to go through the water to circumvent being around the crowd, is what they got from your story. So splash, the 2 guards not on duty have left the scene. And as the fighting and the shouting is going on, you can hear some cries. It sounds like some people are getting hurt. But for the most part, it looks like the townsfolk are winning. Obviously, the numbers are in their favor. And Willenby, Mayor, has been drugged back by some of the weaker people and is just being held as he's laying prone on the ground, while the others do kind of the fighting. Plata has since been trying to fight back and is throwing punches without his weapon. He's plated, he's armored up, so it's hard for the townsfolk to really do damage to him, but he is being over-encumbered by the sheer presence of them. And things are going to shit. The townsfolk that didn't come at your request have started to hear kind of the noises and the commotion. You know, people that were heading to Tally's Tavern only to realize the tavern isn't open, are hearing what's going on at the docks.
What are we gonna do now?
Grab Andrus and get them. Go.
Yeah.
I'll kind of snake back to Nick and just kind of like lean a bit and ask. It's like, should we like organize this a little bit, or are you just kind of gonna let it play out?
I think I kind of want to just let it play out.
Okay.
Okay, well,
kind of like put, just kind of rest on the barrel, maybe forgetting that Naroke is on it. Just can I remember?
hey, I would say then, if we're just gonna let it take its course, it doesn't take that long. Maybe 5 minutes or so. Later,
Actually, one thing with you mentioned that some people are getting hurt. And by this point, Naroke will probably have left the crate because it's been over a minute and his whole person's worn off, and the person he was holding is now being held by multiple other people. If I note anyone dying, I am going to cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. No one's actively dying because it seems like the guards, the 3 that had joined the fight that were kind of reluctant, aren't hurting to kill. So nothing seems fatal yet, but there is an old lady that has like a split above her eyebrow, and she's, holding her face and seems quite upset about what's going on. So she's quite injured. She was one of the ones screaming.
Okay.
And if you were to let this run its course, within 5 minutes, Plata and his measly guards are subdued. The people that come running are townsfolk, and while they may have no idea what's going on, they know kind of whose side they're on by default. They are townsfolk. The guard has been squirrely lately, the mayor was squirrely, the guard was aggressive, and they will easily be convinced to join into the fight. And the guards, along with Plata and the mayor, are subdued after a brief brawl on the docks. And the mayor is crying this whole time. He's shouting, like, it's not what it seems, it's not what it seems. He's trying to argue with the townsfolk who are having none of it. And people are screaming, like, you'll answer for this, justice for Samil, and they're dragging everyone off into town. Marsh,
Justice for Miso.
For Miso.
Yeah, there's like the one person in there. It's like, and for Miso.
Oh yeah, that guy. Everyone gets riled up again. Marsh, you're gonna be really happy to see this, but you recognize, kind of off closer to town, away from the docks, someone that you were by a fire barrel before has started to light one.
Yeah, I just kind of, I don't know if he can see me, but I just nod in that person's direction.
Your approval reaches him. He kind of looks around and goes back to lighting his fire.
And then I pull out the bag of rats and then put it back.
Is this a situation that would now benefit from 1 to 20 rats?
Well, rats on fire.
Yeah, but then you just get the weird stinky smell.
That's true. The bag does reek. Hey, Cinder. So, yeah, the guards they're being dragged closer into town. They're now tied up. People have come running with torches and pitchforks and rope and the usual mob fanfare. And the town is alight. The noise is ridiculous. People are waking in the streets. Children are crying.
As it was meant to be.
And Coral has seemed to sort of taken the lead on this. Not like she's like the de facto leader or whatever, but she's standing tall on a crate.
She's the most buff lady in town.
She's pretty damn buff. And she's saying things like, justice for Greenspire, and justice for Wilma, and justice for Samil. I don't know, she's not very smart. Just kind of trying to reiterate how important it is that the wrongs be righted and whatnot. And people are buying it. The mayor's face is all puffy and bloody from people wailing on him. And Coral says, it will be put to a vote, but I'm hoping tomorrow we will have a hanging. And the crowd is in agreement and cheers in response.
I turn to the rest of the group and I'm like, you want to go to the tavern for a drink?
Is it open?
I think it might be closed, but also, who's going to be there to stop us?
I'll help Umla back to his tower home, and then I guess I'll meet back at the tavern.
Put him in a box and just carry him through town.
Presumably I've been holding Talow's regular clothes for her, and I just passed them to her.
Yes. At some point on on the dock, Tallow would have reworn her regular digs.
Yeah, once I've walked away from my chest or the giant crate that I was in, she probably just go in there, change inside the crate.
Yeah, perfect changing room. She will find the snack that she's meant to have for the evening at some point. Meet up with him. Marsh, you get Umath back to his home safely. He talks slowly, but is very grateful for the assist and really enjoyed having another story to add to his list of adventures since settling down in this quiet town.
I guess while I'm like moving Umlath, I'll just kind of mention it's like, are you sure you want to stay here and not go back home? Like the town might eventually do something about you if you stick around. Like they're gonna demolish your tower eventually. Maybe, I don't know. They might have got delayed by quite a bit recently.
I think what was meant to happen will happen further down the road, as you say. But when they come, I think I will eat. And so I will stay. Thank you, friend.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I see. Plus,
Yeah. He's he traveled far from home, but I think he wants to lay his roots here. That takes care of that.
Umath for mayor.
I think I've broken back into the tavern, jumped behind the bar, and I'm just pouring drinks for anyone who joined me.
Yeah, I'll be in the bar.
You opened the locked front door, didn't you? Just kidding.
Yep.
Locked doors.
Jeez.
That's barely a concept for me.
Do you care what happens to Francis and Lionel at this point?
Not particularly.
All right.
Well, like, if we see what's going on for them, then sure, but...
Okay, because during the fighting, they were kind of nowhere to be seen.
They both hoofed it out. Yeah, that's fair.
Presumably.
We did promise they would be able to do that.
Yep. It's like, once you brought us the mayor and he's none the wiser to what's going on, you are free to go about your lives as you see fit.
Okay. Well, as the crowd roars and cheers and jeers from outside, light flickers through the windows from the pitchforks and the fire barrels that the town is now invested in. Seems to be a new trend. Thank you, Marsh. You guys can lift your glasses in a job well done. Endress eventually comes down from her room upstairs because, of course, Tally's Inn and Tavern is where you guys are staying for the night.
Yep.
And she's just thinking, like, what did I miss? I'm usually a really heavy sleeper, but no one can sleep through this.
Stuff blew up with the mayor.
Not literally. Yet.
Yep. Stuff might still blow up with the mayor.
There might be a bit of an event tomorrow, of sorts.
We might have to miss it if we want to leave at the crack of dawn for the train.
Well, I don't think I want to be out there, so that works for me. Missing it seems great. Is it safe to go back to sleep?
So,
It should be safe.
Alright. These stitches. Endress will just, she'll pop off. She won't partake in the victory libations. And she is all packed and ready to go. How do you want to end your night?
Drunk.
We'll just, give our nightcap and go to bed.
Perfect.
Our involvement in this is over.
Yep, we did what we set out to do, and the lynching is going to commence.
If any...
Maybe they'll vote for a nice exile or something. That's not completely off the table.
Exile is objectively the funniest punishment for anything, because it's just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's true. Coral was the loudest last night, but that doesn't mean that her word is martial law. If any of you are light sleepers, you would have heard, maybe another half hour of clamor and whatnot in the night before things started to subdue and the townsfolk went on their way. And yeah,
And we wake.
the day.
And we wake first thing in the morning.
Yes, you do. You have places to be. I don't know if you have things you want to see in town, but morning comes. Tally had returned to her tavern at some point for her to sleep. What was the roll for Constitution to wake up?
No, it's how hungover I was going to be.
Oh.
Because yes, what to kind of won in the night, drunk.
Drunk. That's fair. Yeah, you shook that off pretty well. You're feeling okay with double 18s. And light hasn't quite started to touch the sky yet. It's very, very, very early morning, but it's still dark outside. How early do you guys want to wake up?
I think we want to get an early start. Like, not so early that Naroke is like, but early enough.
Also, just because, Agent of Chaos, I'm gonna comment to kids that we should try and just for shits and giggles, the whole it's like we arrived in town or whatever thing that was at the start of every time loop, and knock on Andrew's door with that.
I do still have that ability to perfectly mimic someone's voice.
Again. For old time's sake.
It's how we came into this town, it's how we're going out. Let's go.
Alright. Hang on. I have to pull up those session notes. Because I don't remember. Man, that was a long time ago. Alright, so mimicking,
The first, I think it was the first mate.
Yeah.
Knocked on everyone's
Fellerock,
door.
there we go. Yeah, so like, knock, knock, knock. This is first mate Fellerock. We're almost at Greenspire. Get your stuff and head on deck. There it is. And are all three of you around the door listening in?
Yeah, probably.
Jackasses. So what you hear is a scream that's clearly being muffled by a pillow. So you're not sure if she knows it's you or if she's screaming because she thinks she's back on the Highland Blush for round 4 or whatever it would be.
Probably both. Like, there was probably that moment of uncertainty, and then she realizes we're a bunch of jackasses.
Yeah. And yeah, she's screaming her head off into a pillow. And then you hear the sound of her like shuffling and grabbing things and things slumping on the ground and whatnot. As she gets up for the day.
Yeah, I'll just say at the doors. See you downstairs. Head down.
And this is why I love scoundrel campaigns. You guys are bad people.
We're terrible people.
So, are you heading out of the tavern?
Yeah, probably. Yep, once we're all packed and everything and ready to go, I think we head for whichever road will take us to the train station.
Perfect. Heading north then along the shore. So Tally is up, although she looks really tired as she is setting up the bar and whatnot and cleaning. There's dark circles under her eyes. She also has like a bruised lip. But she's, just setting up her bar as per usual and kind of waves you off and thanks you for your patronage for your stay there and appreciates everything you guys did for the town.
How much did we drink the night before?
I like that we didn't put too much of a dent.
Yeah, she doesn't seem... If something is afoot, she's not giving off the vibe that something's missing or something's been stolen or whatnot.
I'll place a gold on the counter on our way out. It's like, thank you for the hospitality.
She will happily take that and big happy waves as you guys head out the door for that gold. And when you step outside, there is a massive crowd formed, kind of far down the road from the tavern, closer to the gates where you guys left for your journey to Elderborough City. And on a crate is a very tall man. He's an elf with very pale gray skin. And he's saying, on this day, it has been decided that Lionel and Francis will take Willenby and his filthy guardkin and lead them deep into the jungle where they will spend the rest of their days. And the guard and Willenby are all tied up and whatnot. And Lionel and Francis seem to be heralded as they're not heroes, but they seem to be in well standing with the town and whatnot, and they're kind of like, woo, we're doing the thing. Yeah, and they're...
You turned that around quite well.
Yeah, they are
I'm
opportunists.
actually impressed. I think the idea was mostly Lionel's.
Yeah, I could see that.
As we're passing, I'm just gonna give Lionel a little wink.
he gives you like the slightest of a single nod, and then acts as if he never saw you at all. And everyone roll me perception checks.
Oh, I should be good at those.
Should be. Yeah, you're
Should
not
be.
hungover.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, 20, very nice. 8
22.
and 22. All right,
I should be
Marsh.
good at those.
You're just impressed that there still seems to be a barrel fire going, Marsh. Your friend is like dutifully like filling it with kindling and stuff and keeping it alight, even though it's daytime and there's no need for it.
There's just the one barrel fire.
I almost want to say something, but
So that's what's got your attention. Dominic and Naroke, you notice that Lionel and Francis are adorned with a set of weapons that look identical to the dagger, but just of various types of weapons.
Oh, they got
So
the
they're
mayor's weapons.
Skulls, or
They are carrying the set of weapons
carrying the
that
set.
they had commissioned from Coral.
Well, to be
head
fair,
into the-
they were told the town was being told that the mayor and Willoughby or Mayor Willoughby and Plata and all were going to be taken out into the forest to live out the rest of their days. The detail they didn't mention is the fact that the rest of their days is going to be this afternoon.
Don't know that. We don't know that. So yeah, the two assassin con men, the mayor's puppets, lead the Forsaken Guard and Willoughby out into the jungle, and the crowd claps and cheers and even boos a little as they leave. Kind of weird crowd.
maybe I think they're just people more looking forward to the public event option.
Could have been it. Yeah, Coral's there. She seems like a little perturbed, but is still nodding along as they leave the town. Congratulations.
We have started carnage.
Yes.
We
I
have
don't know.
Congratulations, we've caused a power vacuum.
Woohoo!
Yes.
This will be fine.
Yep, that.
Go Mayor Coral.
We don't know what is going to happen in the town of Greenspire.
It's not our problem.
Nope, because we're getting the fuck out of here.
We're leaving.
Because you are indeed heading back in a little bit to the shore and are going to follow the shoreline north as Tallow had advised. As you're passing Tally's Tavern, Tallow steps outside and she's got kind of like a handkerchief and she's wiping her mouth and she spots your crew and gives you a solid wave before just walking away.
Yeah, I'll give her a little wave back.
And Naroke's just gonna look over to Nick. It's like, so did she actually eat him?
You like a vampire?
I feel like one of two things happened there.
I'm thinking vampire.
So yes, Tallow's left the town. You guys continue
Still not our problem.
Yep.
Continue north. All right. So Tallow had informed that it would be about a day's travel, and that you're to board the train, the Eisenbolt, by the evening, where it would take you further north to Oster, a week's kind of journey away, which is where the Highland Blush is currently docked, waiting to set sail back to Greenspire to pick you up. But
Okay.
we're going to intercept it, since the Heroes of the Shard, rumor is, they are currently heading to Greenspire.
Yeah.
They have found a boat.
They have found a boat, and now they're about to walk into a power vacuum.
Yeah, they're gonna walk into the utter chaos we've left this town in, and that should buy us a couple of days.
Well, they still also have to make the venture to the castle as well.
Would it be funny if they run into the mayor while heading to the castle? Actually, that might be bad. Oh well. Like, I
Stop
kind of...
giving the DM ideas.
It depends on whether or not the land shark got to the mayor first.
I was also kind of assuming, like, the new guard would maybe are just gonna shank him in the forest, but for some reason they didn't. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, the heroes of the shard are going to become 6. It's going to be the main heroes and Willenby.
With Willoughby's power of crying.
Yeah, being a little bitch. Yeah, he doesn't offer much.
We may have emotionally broken Willoughby, it's fine.
You brought his daughter back, only to take her from him again.
Yeah, nobody knows what happened to Wilma except us.
It's true, they all just watched, like, this Wilma kind of look-alike and kind of, yeah, they kind of watched her come back as well in a weird way, and no one questioned it, and then...
It'll add to the mystery.
Well, then the sudden bright light that everyone's having to shield their eyes, and then she's gone.
Yeah, it's true.
We may have started a ghost story.
I mean, there's a ghost story living in the tower, in the town.
Yeah, you totally did. There is a legend that's gonna come from this. That is the stuff legends are made of. I love it.
Yeah, every time fog rolls in on the dock, everyone's going to be like, oh no, Wilma's at it again. Get the fuck away from the dock, someone's going to get stabbed.
Just blame
1,000
Wilma.
years from now, the setting is going to look completely different due to a bunch of our dumb bullshit.
It's really true.
We're gonna have
Or you
knockout effects for hundreds of years.
What does the ghost do? Did she just keep calling out people for murders?
Maybe.
Oh man. Yeah, the heroes are gonna be like, we were here 3 months ago. What the hell happened? Wasn't like this at all. All right.
So we're venturing north for a day.
Keeping the shore to your left, whatnot. It's easy to make your way along the beach. It's beautiful. It kind of smells often like, you know, nice salty air, and then sometimes you get the waft of like decaying seaweed, and it's kind of gross. But the journey itself is pretty nice. It's long. You know, you have a day to travel. At some point you would stop, have a ration or two, rest up, but for the most part you kind of keep hoofing it north. And then the sun is, as it's starting to set, bathing the sky in like bright pinks and oranges with the sunset. You can see not really a town, but you can see the platform and a train up ahead. It's kind of blue sparks lighting up the night. And there's a large crowd of people kind of around these train tracks loading up to the platform. You can see the train facing north, and there's also adjacent tracks running east. As you get closer, you can see that workers are busy loading luggage up into the train from a big pile where passengers have set their luggage down. And many of them are crowding around. Some have begun to form a line, though they're not letting people onto the train yet. Most of them are just milling, chatting about themselves with their carry-on luggage on their person. And I will show you what the cool head of the train looks like. It is powered by magic, it would seem, with
I have to roll
this.
a 1 every turn.
No, that's awesome,
Every
but no.
6 seconds, there's a risk that this train will explode.
Or turn into a potted plant. It's going 100 kilometers an hour down the tracks, and then suddenly the entire train just turns into one potted plant, and everyone just hits the tracks.
Dies into a pace. Alright, what's a cantrip that can power this train so it doesn't need to roll a surge?
10 billion firebolt spells, I don't know.
It's probably fine.
You can see on the side of the train there, and on many of the carts, Eisenbolt, I-Z-E-N, the name of the train. It's also on your little tickets that Tallow had given you, all 3 of them. Endress is, you know, really enamored by the train and like takes a few notes from it and stuff. I don't think you get the sense she's never been on a train before. And then she thinks out loud, I don't have one of those. I have no ticket. How am I going to get on?
Oh, and I hand her mine and say, sorry, this one's yours.
Oh, thank you.
I
You
actually
don't have
looked...
names on them, right?
Yeah,
They do,
Oh, shit.
but
Wait, which names? Do they have, like, our name names?
Also, how do we prove who we are?
How do you?
Wait, is this a world with ID, or can Endris just say he's whoever?
It's not really a world with ID.
Wait, does that mean Endris is now Nick, if I'm following correctly?
Or
Are
whoever's
these-
ticket.
Or, like, sorry, did the tickets we get, did they have our names on them?
So the tickets, one will say Naroke, one says Marsh, one says Dominic.
Okay. I actually wanted to. I just remembered I want to check it out. Like, how like fancy are these tickets? Are they just like printed on a sheet of paper, or I'm kind of looking at counterfeitability, to be honest.
They're fairly fancy. It is just like a thicker sort of almost like cardstock paper, and the words Eisenbolt are written in like a very elegant scroll, and then just in small, simple boxy print is your names, and then Oster written below it, the name of the town you're heading to. So you feasibly could forge one.
I have a better idea. I don't have a forgery kit, but what I do have is some water. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the ticket and spill some water specifically on the part that has the name on it, and I'm gonna take it to the counter and say, "I'm sorry, my ticket got damaged. Could I get a replacement?"
Oh yeah. So there's a young boy there, probably like 15 or so,
Actually,
and
Just a second. There's probably something I want to do before this,
Okay.
which is get another ticket for me. Looking around, who's the biggest asshole in this train station?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Probably us.
So
Besides us.
So there's a man with like a very big chapeau, like we're talking Yankee Doodle, like excessively big, and there's like 15 different feather plumes sticking out of it from various like hunting trophy birds.
Okay, what's his luggage situation?
What is his luggage situation?
Like cart being pushed in front of him, a rolly bag behind him.
It's like a single bag that he's got with him. He doesn't have a cart full of stuff. It's not a lot. It just seems to be one like suitcase worth of stuff on him. Nothing else.
Okay. In that case, I'm probably gonna have to trip over him instead of his luggage. So I'm just gonna basically like walk the opposite direction he's going, and then as I'm right in front of him, just completely eat shit and knock us both to the ground.
Love it. All right.
And while we're down, try to get his ticket.
Hey, can you give me? Is it sleight of hand? I never remember in this
sleight of
one.
hand,
Yeah,
yeah.
sleight of hand.
Which I have a +9 on. Oof, which with a natural 1.
All
That's
right.
still a 10. But
You still got average roll with a natural 1.
You're
So-
a complete failure. It's a normal person trying to do it.
It's so true. So you know that meme where it's like the woman and she's calculating the trajectories, kind of looking around? I imagine in this one you're overthinking it a little bit to get the right angle.
You multiply, or you divide it by 0.
Never divide by 0. And as you put it, eat shit into the ground. Because you were going to go for that little pickpocket the ticket out of his hand. You end up just like palm grabbing in his crotch as you both end up down on the ground, and he is okay with it.
Ah.
Like there's the initial shock of falling and whatnot, and he seems kind of perturbed until he realizes where things are, and he goes, "A bit eager there, are we, lad?" And he starts to like get up and help you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it, and as I'm sort of as patting him off with slightly flirtatiously, I'm gonna try and get the ticket again.
Yeah.
All right, dice, don't fuck me. 26.
There you go.
All right. So he has a tie, and I picture you like grabbing the tie with one hooked finger, and you're just kind of like pulling it while looking it up, like looking him in his eyes, and reaching around in his back pocket, giving his butt a little squeeze, and you feel the ticket, and just you get that all nice. No one knows. Doesn't feel a thing.
Okay, I'll give him a little wink and say, "See you on the train later," and walk away.
Do you hear him say, "I should say so," as he straightens his tie?
Okay, now I'm gonna do the thing where I water damage the tickets and then go to the counter and
Yeah,
say,
'cause you
my
could just
tickets got
keep-
damaged, but I get replacements.
I thought we were gonna have a situation where you had 2 water damage tickets, you just put your name back on one of them.
Alright, so which one are you water damaging?
The one that has the dude's name on it.
Alright. Yep, okay. So you take it to the counter. There's a young boy, kind of a 15, and he looks surprised that anyone's there, and his eyes go wide, and he looks behind him to the man that is just like passed out with probably what looks like a bottle of wine in his lap. So someone was drinking hard on the job, and this kid is like, kind of calling out like, I need help, and he doesn't stir. So he goes, what can I do for you, sir?
I spilled some water on my ticket, and I was wondering if I could get a replacement.
Yeah, we do that here. What's your name?
Endris?
And he's gonna like go through this like folder thing, and look under the E's and go, I don't have an Endris.
What? No, my assistant got this for me. God, I swear to God, I'm just gonna fire her. You know what? She is just the worst.
Oh, no, don't fire. I know how hard it can be to be an assistant. And he looks back to the drunk man kind of fearfully. He's like, I'm gonna fix this right here. And he'll make a new ticket. And, he'll, in boxy writing, write out Endris and pass it over to you. Taking the old ticket.
Much.
Happy to help.
And I'm gonna go to Endris and hand her her ticket.
Perfect. Alright, that works.
You know, the tickets probably aren't even that expensive. This is just a matter of principle at this point.
And we really have no idea how exclusive this train is.
Yeah, it's like 7 copper to get a ticket, and we decided we were gonna rob some pompous prick. And
Listen, the point is that I've ruined at least 2 days here.
That's perfect. Marsh and Naroke, while Nick was complaining about his assistant and whatnot, you could see a sign that said tickets $10 or $10, 10 gold each.
okay.
I assume they were out.
So that just gives you some idea of the cost and how the average man probably could not get onto this train.
Fair.
And true enough, the crowd you're seeing around seems quite hoity-toity and well-to-do.
I think I have like 700 gold.
I currently have
And I
666
saved
gold.
I was thinking if the pickpocket thing was gonna work out, it's a good time to bring out the rats, but we got through without the rats.
Is
this time.
this a situation that would benefit from 1 to 20 rats?
Oh, when the answer's yes, I'm gonna be so excited.
Well, see, the question is, though, it's like we can pull out, like, the 1 to 20 rats, but we have to put them back in before we pull out another 1 to 20 rats. So we can just sit there and just keep, just like confetti candy at a parade tossing out rats.
How many charges per day does the bag of rats have?
We have no limits. This is just a portal to the rat dimension.
Exactly. The bag of endless rats.
Oh, dear
Marsh can open it as many times as he wants.
This is
One
not a
day
power we should have.
If things get real bad, I'll turn it inside out.
Oh yeah.
Just an explosion of rats. If we ever need to get out of somewhere quick.
See, now, actually, at that point, if we turn it inside out and it suddenly just starts, like, vaulting rats in every direction, what you do is you take a pipe and you put the bag so it's on the end of the pipe, and then you shove the end of the bag in, so it's now inside out, so all the rats are going to start spilling out, but it's also now in a focused direction. We now have a rat cannon.
I just...
Mel's like, oh, fuck.
Like, honestly, if there's like a town we don't like, we could just cause an endless rat plague, which granted, you know, if we want to distract the heroes, like, that might be a good job. They'll have to stop the rat plague from destroying the country.
Yeah, it's like the heroes are going to be here in the next hour. I'm like, well, this town is getting a sudden case of rats.
It's a very real threat.
Or if there's ever a machine that we need to, like, utterly fuck up, we can just try and clog its workings with rat guts.
Or if there's a hole we can't see at the bottom of, just like, how many rats does it take?
How many rats does it take to fill this hole?
We We just take a handful out, tie them all together, and then use it like it's a measuring stick.
I feel like Mel made a severe miscalculation of giving two QA people in a programmer a bag of infinite rats.
I just thought it'd be funny to give the option to like gross people out, or like a small distraction of like, oh my god, this place is infested with rats. I want my money back or something. I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna be like
Bag of infinite rats.
Other fun things, we still have the unbreakable rope and the reincarnation potion. We just don't talk about those as
That's
much.
true. And your clay golems.
The screaming clay golems.
I should mention this as you're traveling. Their screaming has more turned into chitter that you can hear within the chest and whatnot. And it seems like they're just like talking and having a good time. You can hear.
Oh, they're
kind of
becoming
them laughing.
friendly.
I'm
Marvelous.
planning against you.
So the angry like thrashing and bumping and rattling stuff in your chest has just turned to them hanging out, and they just seem to be more friendly. So,
Woohoo!
Side note of that.
Point of order, I need to go feed the cat or she's going to be very angry with me.
Fair.
Actually, why don't we do a quick break then?
Okay.
Like a 10-minute quick break, and then we'll hop back to it.
Sounds good. Smoke bomb out for the next 10 minutes. We will be back. We are back. It was a very hands-on experience. See, at least it's the kind of thing where you didn't roll like a nat 1 and not have any bonus, where instead of stealing the ticket, you just run up and sock him one in the crotch. Just like a full closed fist, just bam. Naroke looks down at his beast chainmail. I don't know what you're talking about. We're fine. Probably being in amidst the crowd is probably our best bet. Like, really, a whole bunch of people bumping and bustling, trying to get past each other onto the train. Imagine how many things that Nick can steal. how buff do the people who are hauling the luggage look? Okay, so it's not a couple like 15-year-old kids just fresh off the farm kind of thing trying to haul it on. Okay. Then Naroke will keep his chest with him then. It's a pleasure. Do we want to be at the butt of the train? I suppose. But this also means we are in the closest proximity to Pompous McFeatherhat getting on the train. The last thing we need is for him to know which cart you're in. Yeah, I was looking at like who is the blue like urchin lady? That's fair. Spiffy. At that like once we get to this cart, it's just kind of because the sleeping carts had doors on them, correct? Gonna kind of look at the groups like, should we take one of the rooms with the door? You know, for privacy's sake, of course. Oh, so each one of us gets a separate room? How far apart are our rooms? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just that way Endress is close by. I mean, Naroke will just stroll through whatever's between me and my target, so... if we need to throw someone, we can throw Naroke through. Yeah, unfortunately we had picked up your ticket a little bit, or the ticket we had gotten for you was a little bit later, so they did end up putting our rooms a fair bit apart. They couldn't get us all together. Uh, yeah. Except it'd be one thing if it was just a few doors down, but apparently you're a full couple carts away. It's like we've got a couple options. We could either have you either bunk with one of us, or we could swap rooms, whichever is more comfortable for you. Oh, not at all. Yeah. Hey, Nick, you might want to put on your disguise kit. Well, I was thinking more so along the lines of if he gave them a description and said, go look on the train and see if you can find this person. Yeah, he was probably too focused on the hand placement. Naroke stand out? Not at all. Which is very handy for someone who's focused on deception.
How on a scale of 1 to oh dear god my eyes, how loud is this jester's outfit? So Naroke's gonna lean over to Nick. Naroke's gonna lean over to Nick and it's like, I do believe he's been taking your fashion advice. Comforted? Uh, oh, as he was running by, can I roll a perception check to or like a perception or an insight check to basically like see if I can get some kind of gist of like what the hell is going on for him? Would it be perception or would that be insight? 17, 22, and 23. We are very perceptive.
I think he's on the drugs. Naroke will follow. What is Endress doing? How dare you? Mild shock. You'll have to let us know where the food is. Mega caboose. I'm adding engine for the train. How does it work? Partners in crime. Also, once again, we have sent her down a life path of crime.
To try and continue influence, yes. If you were to try and continue forward, Marsh, you do see a big sign that says "Employees only. Do not enter."
Huh. I kind of go, huh, and then I head to the dining car.
Oh, Endress will follow in tow. Marsh and Naroke, not Marsh. Sorry, Dominic. Here we go. Dominic and Naroke. Wow. It's too early for my brain to not be working. You guys head back closer to the way you boarded, past your sleeper carts, and you see the man that had run by, and he is kind of fiddling with the door to the caboose, the farthest cart on the train, and he's sweating. His skin just looks terrible. He's wheezing and he's fighting with the door. You don't know if it's locked or if he's just inept, but he's trying to bust this door down.
I'll sidle up and be like, "Can I help you there, bud?"
Yes, I need in. Can you unlock this for me?
Sure thing. And I'm gonna try and pick the lock.
Perfect. So as you are starting to pick the lock, you first grab just the handle and like kind of push down on it, and it clicks, and you can see that it's definitely not locked. He just is so completely incapable in this moment.
Okay.
And as I imagine you were going to tell him or open the door for him.
I'll just, open it with kind of a flourish.
Cool. So as you do that, you hear the door from which you came burst open, and the orc in the lab coat comes running down the cart and is screaming like, "Bates, please stop! Bates, you're not well! Return to your room! By the stars, man! All this nonsense about the supplies being safe. I assure you they are, but if it helps, I will check them myself." And he's completely made like the entire length of the hallway, and he's trying to like not grab, but like pokes this man back, and he notes you, and like the door's open. He kind of gives like a nod, but he's trying to get Bates away from the door, who's now like trying to fight him and get to the door.
What seems to be the problem with Bates?
He needs his medicine, that's all. He's quite unwell, very sick. I'm his doctor. And he takes Bates and like kind of gently grabs his head to like have him look at him, and he says, Bates, take these. And you don't quite see what he gives him, but he puts something in his hand, and go to your room, like in a very stern voice, and he starts to push him down the cart. And Bates is like looking back at the door through which you opened, but is being corralled back the way he came.
So the orc doctor is leaving with this guy.
Yes.
Okay, once they're out of sight, I'm gonna look at Naroke and say, "Do you want to have a look inside the luggage cart?"
Absolutely.
cool. Just open the door and gesture him through.
Full of stuff. These are luggages. Things were
Wild luggage has appeared.
It's way more full than this, but of also like inconsequential just bags and whatnot. But these are the bigger items of note, you know, the chests, as it were, or things that look like they might be interesting. And yeah, it's just full to the brim with people's items.
Is there anything that stands out as being particularly unusual in here? Like a sample case or something used for transporting sensitive material?
At a glimpse, no. It's kind of dark in here. There are some wall, like, sconces. Sconces?
Yep.
That doesn't sound like a word. Sounds like a weird word. So there is a bit of light, but nothing that's illuminating anything in a sense of like, whoa, that's drugs, or like, that's probably a person wrapped in a carpet. Like, nothing's popping out at you.
Well, now we gotta go find the person wrapped in the carpet.
No, there's no carpet person.
We're going to find a person wrapped in a carpet, but it's going to be completely unrelated to what else is going on in this train. It's going to be ancillary
Yeah.
to everything else.
It's just a taxidermy guy that they're transporting in a carpet.
No, it's gonna be a sentient carpet that someone else is going to get wrapped up in.
No, never. I will never do that to you guys.
I cannot say the same.
Having been there, yes.
Naroke will casually take a stroll through. As I'm like walking through the cart, does anything kind of stand out to me?
Yeah, I would say as you're getting here, this is it's a round bag, almost like imagine a drum, like a big old drum bag that's zipped up, but it's bright pink and has yellow stripes running down the side, and it's kind of reminiscent of a passenger on the train.
Gonna look to Nick. I found your luggage.
Aw. Although I do want to see if I can steal any of his clothes, and I open the bag.
Awesome. It's not filled with clothes. It is in fact filled with, I'm going to say hundreds, because it's actually quite a big, deep drum of a bag, of bottles and vials of various liquids and dry powders and dried leaves and flowers and whatnot.
Oh shit.
Lots
We
of
found the
herbs,
drugs.
pills, lots of bottles of pills.
Is
Grab
the
a
jester
pills.
a drug smuggler? Is that what we're looking at here?
Either that or this is Bates. Is there a name on the luggage?
Yeah, there is a name on it. 1 second.
1 second while Mel's brain computes a name for the luggage.
Woo! It's Jigsaw. There we go. It's like there's a lot of names. It's you see in blocky letters, Jigsaw.
Let's play
Oh.
a game.
Jigsaw Co.
I'm glad you said it, because I was about to.
Yes.
We have seen the drug that gets made out of those flowers that Marsh keeps collecting, right?
Zydrate, correct.
Is there any of that in there?
Hard to tell. There's this one section that has some kind of dried flowers, and they might be Zydrate flowers, but you're not too sure. Like, they don't, it's not quite the spitting image, so you're unsure exactly. You're not too confident. And there's not a lot of them.
Okay. I'm gonna tuck this information away for later and close the suitcase again.
Okay.
Is this one locked, or is that just a small box in front of it?
It's locked. It's a long, kind of thinner box than the rest of them, or crate, rather. Because crates are good. Crates are generic. It is locked.
Naroke's gonna pull out his skeleton key. And it's gonna.
All right.
And I was like,
Not
oh,
paying enough
fuck.
attention to stop him.
Put it up against the lock and twist, and then stick it back in my pocket. And then he's gonna grab the top of the box and try and lift it up.
All right. We'll do a strength check. 'Cause-
Oh, it's a stubborn.
Ooh, yeah. So the crate, as you unlock it and go to lift up the lid, it's heavy, and your muscles kind of bulge as you strain against it, and you end up just tipping the entire box back instead of the lid a little before dropping it down.
Oh wow, that lid's stuck on there tight. Nick, give me a hand with this. And I'm gonna go around to the one side and like kind of grab the front of the box and grab the lid and be ready to like try and pry. And like Naroke is kind of expecting Nick to do the same thing on the other side.
I'm gonna see if I can lockpick this open before Naroke tries to wrench the lid off entirely. It's a race against time.
Good. Green wire or blue wire?
It's like as Naroke sees you like go up and like start filling. No, I already got the lock. Like I just need you to help me pry the lid open.
Sure thing. Thieves Tools 22.
Yeah. So I imagine that when Naroke's like, I already got the lock, Naroke, you turn away from Nick for a moment to like really brace yourself and kind of like do a squat and whatnot.
Yeah, I've got like my knee braced up against the bag and I'm kind of like looking down as I'm gripping the top of the lid.
Yeah, so you lose focus on him for a bit as you're steeling yourself because you know how heavy this was. Holy moly, it's very stuck. And that's when Nick can quickly get in and pop the lock open. And there's a tiny little click and you see the thick bar of the lock spring up, and with a quick flourish, it's off.
Does Naroke like massively overestimate like the force necessary to get this lid open now?
Probably. Let's. Okay, so he'd realize prior to completely just like hoofing the lid of this box off that it's now easier with you helping on the other side.
Okay. Because that could have you try to step on a stair that's not there.
Yeah, you still go for a little bit of a ride, but Naroke stops it before like full swinging the lid over and off.
Perfect. Okay. So the lid opens as the two of you peer in. You brace yourselves, for it seems to be full of like monsters as these hollow eyes peer at you. But after a moment, it's just pelts, like wolf pelts, and the faces and the heads of various animals, and furs and whatnot.
What do you want to bet this is the luggage of that hunter guy?
I'd probably guess you're right. Yeah, because they wouldn't have let the guy with all the feathers and hat on the train with his luggage. Yep, it's probably Hunter Boys.
Alright.
Closes the lid.
Is there a name on the luggage?
Oh, you know what? There probably is. Silent Bob.
Silent Bob?
Yes.
Silent Bob as in Kevin Smith? Silent Bob?
I don't know.
I know Kevin Smith in my head, you realize.
Are you allowed to talk to him?
But the thing is, he's Silent Bob. He won't talk back.
That's the wildest part, is that the luggage tag says Silent Bob.
He knows who he
What
is.
does your mother call you, Silent Bob?
Watch, Silent Bob is just... They named him Silent Bob, but it's actually completely out of irony. He's actually more like Loud Howard.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. So even digging through, if you were to dig through, just full of various furs, and kind of the creepy ones, rather than just like a cut of a pelt. It's like mostly intact.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Head's still on.
Yeah.
Naroke, go and take a look at the big chest in the very back of the train.
Okay. On it, in elegant script, is Kruger and Sons. That's what's written on the crate. And it is locked.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
Freddy,
if
let's
I
see
can
what's
get
in
that
your
one
box.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get that one unlocked. Let me just pull up the damn thieves tools again. 22 again.
Another 22. Okay. Yeah. So, this one gives you like a little bit more trouble. But after a moment, it relents, and you hear the telltale click, and opening the Kruger's and Son crate, pretty much almost identical to what you found in the Jigsaw barrel.
Yeah.
Various pills, powders, herbs, kind of medicines. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I will, and this is Kruger and Sons, you said?
Kruger and Sons.
Now the question is Bates Kruger or is Bates Sons?
Anything else in your strike your fancy?
I don't know, do we want to go through the entire luggage cart, or are we,
I think we'd be at it for a while if we were to try and go through everything.
It's a long trip. We got nothing to do.
Maybe stagger it?
Yeah, I think like every like how long of a trip, like how many days was the trip going to be?
You have a week trip ahead of you, and keep in mind it was quite late when you were boarding, so it is late at night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the people that were milling about were likely just milling about before bed.
Okay. We can come back to this then.
Yeah,
So every time we get bored, come over and rifle through some more people's luggage.
It's like loot boxes. Like, what's in here?
Yeah, so let's head back, meet up with the rest of the group, and find out that Endress is on their pathway to more crime.
Visit the dining cart. Loudly tell stories about that time the dining cart got crushed to a height of 6 inches.
Yep.
Reminiscent.
God. I feel like every time you see those ladies, you're just gonna wreck their
Every
day
time.
even more.
Yeah, and every time I see them, I'm just gonna try and ruin their day. For no other reason than it's funny.
They end up too afraid to leave their room. People have to bring food to them.
We figure out which room they're in, walking past it. So did you hear about the train that got sheared in half? I hear there was no survivors.
Ooh. Alright, so you guys can... Well, I'll say you meet up in the passenger cart. Where everyone was milling about. There's, oopsies. There's less people in there now. The two pompous ladies have gone to bed. Oh dear. The stoic man, potentially stoic man that was covered in furs, is gone. This crazy character, who's super bright and colorful, is still there humming a jaunty tune to himself. And there's another couple sitting, gossiping. And the old man still hasn't left his spot over there, just, smoking a pipe.
As I'm passing by Mr. Mysterious over in the corner here, can I give him a quick, once-over, see what I can figure out what his deal is?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Yeah, you want perception or insight?
Yeah, it's your choice. Dealer's choice on this one.
They're the same for me. 12.
12. He kind of cocks an eyebrow at your approach and gives you a smile, and he seems friendly. He doesn't seem reserved or like he's hiding anything. Gives you a little tilt of his head. He's smoking a corncob pipe. He's kind of got a leather duster on. Has that sort of, I don't know, I think it's a deer stalker hat. Maybe not what it's called. A little hat that's kind of turned up at the front and...
If you're thinking about the Sherlock Holmes hat, that's a deer stalker.
Yes, so then that is what he's wearing.
Okay.
Yeah. brown leather duster, and just he doesn't. Yeah, no, he'll give you a hello as you walk by. So
I'll
little
give him
greeting.
a nod. And catch up with the rest of the group.
Okay.
So we're pretty sure that the fellow who ran by is on all the drugs. Also, his name is Bates.
Yeah. Whether he's on all the drugs, whether he's like that because he's on all the drugs, or he's on all the drugs because he's like that, remains to be seen.
Also, we do need to find out. Actually, I'm gonna kind of look over to Nick. It's like, we should probably find out if the clown's name is Jigsaw.
It is vitally important that we find out whether the clown's name is Jigsaw. That's going to set the tone for this whole trip.
Are you asking that tonight, or is that a tomorrow plan?
I mean, the clown's still on the train.
All right.
I'll wander by and see if I can see the name Jigsaw on any of the nameplates. Like there's a name card that says Jigsaw in any of the rooms.
Yeah, so Dominic, as you're going, there's absolutely a label of Jigsaw on one of the rooms, for sure.
Yeah, can I see if I can peek through?
The blinds are closed on his windows.
Naroke is going to be much less subtle, because the clown was this one, was it not?
Correct.
Naroke's going to walk up and have a seat across from him, and it's like, you're quite the colorful character here. Name's Naroke, and kind of like reach my hand out to shake his.
He says, Naroke, a splendid name. I knew a man by Naroke. He was
Oh,
all
that's
right.
interesting.
Owes me a bit of money, but, he was fun nonetheless. And he'll shake your hand and say, my name's Jigsaw.
It's a pleasure to meet you. So what brings you upon this rather interesting contraption they've got here?
Oh, the eyes and bolts. I know it very well. I'm heading north for a convention of sorts. I'm hoping to sell my merchandise.
Oh, really? What kind of merchandise?
Medicinal wares.
There's a fellow on the train who seems quite troubled. He may be able to make use of your merchandise.
He kind of scoffs at that. Troubled. You don't know the half of it, my friend. You must be talking about Bates. Running around like a madman earlier.
Oh, you know the man.
Know him. He's my greatest competition, and he's gonna lean back into the seat and do one of these, like, little finger taps.
So he's also into medicinal merchandise.
Yes. Shame to say, more so than me in a sense. Typically, I was a seller of rare alchemic potion ingredients, but I've since dabbled into more medicinal purposes, more available to the general consumer. Bates of Kruger & Sons, along with Myers, have been selling for years. It's tough to get into the industry with them at the helm. I was thrilled to see him looking so poorly earlier.
Oh, I can understand that. When competition gets in your way, it's not uncommon to have a little bit of ill will towards them.
I'm glad you understand, Naroke.
Do you know what is going on with him?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Don't really care either.
Fair
But
enough.
it's kind of ironic, I should say. He sells his miracle drugs for a living, with promises of death-eluding properties. But seems like death's knocking on his door all the same.
Well, if there's anything I've learned from Ethel Redfuzz, it will find us all eventually.
I would drink to that if I had a drink, my friend. I would drink to that.
Where is the food cart here? I'm absolutely famished.
Over yonder, and I'll point to the direction of the food cart.
Ah, well, then in that case I will excuse myself for a while. I'm going to go and sate the void in my stomach. It's a pleasure talking with you. And
It was a pleasure.
and Naroke will get up and head to the food cart.
What a deeply ominous person that is.
If he's honest.
Just an incredibly ominous person. We're gonna find out he's completely normal. He just sounds like that.
Like a f***ing psycho. Yes, so maybe explain some of what you saw in the cart earlier.
Drugs.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. Are you just getting some food for the night and tucking in?
Yeah, I think Naroke's gonna gorge himself on some food, whatever's available, and then probably try and find his room.
Yeah. Okay. You won't, when you gorge yourself on your food and you look, you won't see Endress as a nameplate, but you will see a number that was on the back of your ticket. So you can corroborate with the number.
Yeah.
Marsh, what would you like to do?
Honestly, just kind of just eat in the dining cart, maybe keep an ear out or an eye out for anything interesting to happen. Yeah.
You probably eating with Naroke then?
Yeah, I'll join.
And talk
Yeah.
about the creepiness that was, or I don't know if Naroke, how did Naroke feel about Jigsaw?
Oh, this is a perfectly normal individual. I say nothing wrong with him. Just
Pleasant
he's
man.
he perfectly pleasant person. He's a merchant who's trying to get a leg up in the world. And it's fine. There's nothing off about him at all.
So Marsh, that's probably how you feel about this man, unless you were listening to the conversation.
Yeah, no, I'll take Naroke's word on it.
Love it. So you guys, go on.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, like, even meeting the person, I don't know if I would like, if like Marsh would do a good job picking up on those very ominous tones.
Yeah, I think Nick is the only one here in our party with survival instincts.
He's like gashing his hand against the door. Damn it. He's evil. Anyways, Endress, Marsh, Naroke, you guys can get your food, head off to bed. Dominic, what would you be doing when you find Jigsaw's?
Probably, if I can't get into the room, I remembered seeing Jigsaw back in the passenger car, right?
Correct.
So, time-wise, he's still having his conversation with the rogue right about now, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna see if I can poke my head in the room, see if anything jumps out at me as particularly interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It is unlocked. Let me Oh man. Okay, so this needs to go here. And half of you aren't there. And neither is Endress, because I didn't think she would make it this far. Silly me.
She should have been dead in a ditch for a while ago.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry. Let me just jump you there. Boop. There's an assortment of colorful outfits in like a makeshift closet that they have there. His bedspread, as per normal. On the desk that's in the room that isn't shown, there's a desk. There's some files, some paperwork. Nothing really jumping out. There's nothing that has any sort of similarities to what you found in the luggage cart.
Poking my head in, seeing nothing immediately of interest, I'm gonna close the door again and walk off.
Okay.
And then I will go join everyone else at dinner.
Okay. So then, Naroke, what would you have told? Would you have told Dominic anything about talking to Jigsaw?
Oh yeah. Once Nick showed up, it's like, so I had to talk with Jigsaw. They seem like a very lovely person. They sell medicinal goods, as they put it. They're apparently in competition with Bates, which who owns or is a part of Kruger and Sons, which explains the similarities in their luggage.
So they're both selling like medicines and stuff.
So it would seem.
Interesting.
But yeah, very lovely chap, very friendly.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Interesting. I was not there for that conversation. I can't prove him wrong.
I know.
You have to take it at face value, which is delightful. Actually, you know what? As you guys are eating, a familiar face, sort of familiar face, at least for you, Dominic, comes in, and it's the man with the pipe, still smoking his pipe, without a care in the world.
I thought you were going to say the man with the feathered hat. And it's like, oh no.
I was like, I would have been like, oh fuck! Immediately dove under the table. No. The man in the corner, mysterious man in the corner. And he's gonna kind of walk up to your table and like put out a hand and like tilt down in like a silent question of if he can join you. Yeah, I guess if there's space.
Yeah, I'm gonna say these tables are quite large.
Okay, then I'm gonna gesture for him to have a seat.
Ooh,
And
friends.
he's got a bit of a pointy it's not a mustache, little goatee. He also has like a thick mustache, but he's gonna play with his goatee. With one pipe in his hand and say, "Hello, my friends. Off to Oster Bay, are you? Or does your journey lie elsewhere?"
He has a goatee. He must be evil. Ah!
No, he's the world's greatest detective. I don't remember. Is Oster Bay our final destination, or are we? No,
It is.
we're going there. We're going there to catch our boat.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I will say, we're just having a quick layover there before catching other transport.
Interesting. I'm afraid my journey lies elsewhere. But here's hoping our time here is memorable.
Where are you heading to?
Yeah, we shared a little bit of us. Why not you share where you're going?
Oh, right you are. I'm going to a small settlement up north. I've got some friends there that wish to do business.
Oh, what kind of business?
Personal investigation.
Ah.
Seems lots of people are coming down with a case of missing persons disease. I'm hoping to be the cure.
Dreadful disease, that is. One moment you're there, next moment you're on the ethereal plane. It happens.
I'm sure it does.
Well, what happens when anyone tries to be cool around Naroke?
Just like, what was that? And he's gonna kind of turn to you, Naroke, and say, I heard you talking to one of the bigwigs we have with us. Medicinal masterminds and pharmaceutical proprietors.
Huh?
King. Oh my god.
He's picked the exact wrong person to latch onto, and it's amazing.
Master what now? Oh my god. Alright.
Yeah, he listed off a whole bunch of things and all that for no reason. Like,
But Naroke had such a normal conversation. He heard you having a normal conversation not 10 minutes ago.
You're getting so much of that per day.
On second thought, maybe I'll call it an early night.
Quick insight check. Is this guy DTF? There was a little flirtatiousness when he was coming to sit next to us.
Roll it. What did you get?
16.
16. He could be wooed.
The
Alright.
offer is there.
Alright, when he says he's gonna turn in, I'm like, oh, do you want any company?
Oh man. He's gonna turn back and say, "Would you even know what to do with me?"
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of room for experimentation.
Marsh sneezes a little.
He's gonna say, "Buy me a drink tomorrow, and we can go from there."
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
And then to the whole group, he'll bow and say, "My name is Holmes."
Ah,
Yeah, and then walk off.
Are we gonna find out his first name is Hercule?
So I had to roll a charisma check. This is like, is Naroke going to be like smooth enough to not just completely cock block Nick?
What'd you get?
I got a 14, so it's like, no, it's like this is probably an instance to keep my mouth shut and not like make a comment of like, but Nick, you already have a room.
So Holmes saunters the way towards the sleeping carts. Do you guys want to corroborate or anything, or just turn in for the night?
Marsh is
I am
just
going
gonna...
to finish my drink and go to bed.
Yeah, Marsh is gonna head to his room and just play with try to fix and tinker with the mechanical bird a bit more.
Oh god, you still have that!
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot you had that!
Side note, as you're tinkering with the bird and whatnot, it is completely... Did you put the coal into your bag of holding?
Yeah, I did.
Is completely drawn to it and is trying to, like, cobble its way into your bag of holding to get towards the coal.
Are you hungry?
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess you could have a bite, and I just kind of
Oh god!
move the coal towards it.
Yeah, so it's gonna peck at it, and just like it's taking tiny little pecks because it's a small little bird golem, and it gets some of like the dark blackness of the coal, but it also pecks into some of the blue pulsing lines. Yeah, and its eyes start to glow blue.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
didn't know I had to feed you.
You don't. And it's
Okay.
gonna continue to peck.
It's like me eating because I'm like, I should eat something, not because like, I'm hungry.
That's it. Is this helping your memory at all, or nope? Nope. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna keep trying to fix you if you don't mind.
Can I keep eating?
Yeah, I guess. I can just try to work around this.
Cool.
Feeding the enriched uranium to this mechanical bird?
It won't protest, like, if you need to move the coal so you can, like, lift it a certain way. It won't get irate or anything, but the moment you stop working on it, it's gonna, like, try and continue to peck and devour the fuel there. So nothing happens throughout the night. You don't make too much headway with the bird at all, but it will take any opportunity it can get to eat that stuff.
There was actually, I did actually want to quickly check out this this rock stone to see, like, I don't know, like usability, maybe how much juice it's got on it. What should I roll for that?
What should you roll for that? Could we do like a history? Well, no, I guess you weren't really a study on it. Arcana?
Yeah, sure, I'll do Arcana. 11.
11. It seems very powerful, but you think it maybe needs to be on fire for its full power.
I wonder if I can make it explode. I'll figure out later.
I should have moved that there.
Make it explode. Please wait till we're off the train.
Otherwise,
we can get more
stories...
train facts.
Will be a true train fact.
We'll make our own train facts.
So that's Dominic in bed, Marsh in bed, Endris goes off on her own. Naroke, you want to bed?
Yep, Naroke will go to bed.
Cool. Lovely. Darkness has long since descended, but you all tuck in for the night. And so, Naroke, you had swapped spaces.
Yeah, I'm currently in Endris's room.
So you're farther away from this commotion, but Dominic, Marsh, and Endris, you guys would have awoken to the sound of like pattering, like running, people kind of running up and down the hallway. And when you kind of finally stir up enough to get up, it's quite early, but there just seems to be like a hurried, like I don't know, some frantic moving about the train.
Oh god, someone brought their kids on board.
I'm not getting any sleep.
Fun fact, you did not see any kids on the train.
That's even more concerning.
Is it now?
Ghost children.
Wilma! As you guys leave your carts, you can see at the end of your sleeping cart, there's a very concerned-looking conductor, 2 of the train attendants who are consoling a weeping man, and Holmes is there, looking just peachy, kind of tickled, delighted. He's got his pipe. His posture is, just at ease, while everyone else is kind of crowding around this man. Yeah. So most of them have very grave expressions on their face. Holmes can't be bothered.
This is close to Naroke or close to the rest of us?
This is close to the rest of you. Naroke is a couple carts over, and...
Yeah, so I don't hear any of this.
Yep. And if you try and discreetly kind of get close, they're talking fairly hushed, and the one man who's crying is babbling, and you can't quite hear what he's saying. But you do hear the conductor lean over to one of the assistants, and they're talking about a body being wrapped and stored in the freezer to keep it longer.
It's not my fault, I swear.
Is it in a rug?
Oh god.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
It happened.
Yeah, just wrap the body in a rug so that way it's not interfering with the rest of the food.
You're probably right.
Body in a rug!
Yes, the man who is crying and being consoled, his eyes are bloodshot and his nose is running and he is just having a rough go at it. And then Holmes...
Do you recognize the crying guy?
You recognize the crying guy. No, you do not. And Holmes, his lackadaisy posture kind of changes, and he bends down and puts a shoulder on the man's puts a shoulder hand on his shoulder, and says something to him, and like is nodding along like encouragingly, and we'll turn on a dime and walk towards you guys.
Oh shit.
We didn't do it.
I do my best to look innocent of murder, which is going to be rather difficult.
Marsh makes a very big lizardfolk toothy smile.
Did you say I didn't do it?
I didn't say I didn't do it, but I'll just
Aw.
make a very big awkward smile.
Okay. Well, Holmes is going to approach and say, "Well, chaps, how about a little fun since we're still a ways from Oster Bay? That man there, Myers, believes there's a foul plot afoot and that a killer walks amongst the train cars. It would seem no one is safe." And he's, for saying it would seem no one is safe, he doesn't seem concerned that no one is safe. He seems rather tickled about it.
We all know he's really excited.
Yeah, he's possibly having too good a time right now.
So, a proposition for you. In teams. Find the murderer, find the motive, and the weapon. The first of us to solve the mystery gets a prize. I'll wager, and he pats his side, my book of tongues, and he's gonna return your toothy grin, Marsh, and say, "If this one puts up that bag of holding," and he points to your bag of infinite rats.
No.
I know the bag of rats seems really tempting, but maybe perhaps I could tempt you with the mystery box.
He's gonna say bag of rats.
I mean, did I say bag of rats? I mean my smelly food container.
Do you lift it up?
I lift up the mystery box out of my other bag of holding.
Okay. He does not get a whiff of the bag of infinite rats. But you've kind of intrigued him with the mystery box.
You seem you like a good mystery. This is like a mystery to go.
Oh my god, how is this coming back?
I'll wager this.
Can you give me even a hint of what I'm getting?
Uh,
Sweeten the pot.
No.
I couldn't tell you because I have yet to solve the mystery myself.
Chekhov's mystery box.
You can, if you're unsure of its value, you can give it a scan. It's magic.
Fresh out of that scroll, I'm afraid.
Well, you'll just have to take my word on it.
I take many things. Words are not one of them. Your my book of tongues for your bag of holding. Deal or no deal? He's gonna hold out his hand to you, Marsh.
Marsh kind of thinks about in his head Naroke's bag of holding, just in case this goes bad, and goes, "Yeah, sure."
You,
I do have the bag of holding.
That's like if we
we
lose,
have a
he's
faulty bag of holding, and also we have a bag of infinite rats, which weirdly enough is not something we want to give away.
We also have an actual bag of holding, so...
So yeah, in my head, he saw your bag of infinite rats and thought it was a bag of holding because it's completely indiscernible from one except for the smell, which he couldn't smell because he didn't show it.
I like the picture, and then he saw me go into a different bag and pull out a box.
He's not a very good detective. I think we've got this one in the
No.
bag.
I guess not.
He's not a very good detective at all.
Are you gonna take it, Marsh? Are you in?
Like I said, in the back of Marsh's head, if this goes wrong, we'll give him the bag of holding instead. I also don't think we're gonna lose even before I'm putting Naroke's possessions up to bet without telling him.
Yeah. Yeah. So he'll shake your hand, and big smile still hasn't left his face, and he'll say, "All right, bit of a recap then. So we're all playing on an even field. I will tell you everything Myers has explained to me just now. Nothing left out. Scout's honor." I'll put his fingers to his chest, or whatever that is.
He was never a scout. All of it's lies.
We're missing one of you.
Yeah, I'll go grab him 1 second, and yeah, I'll go to get Naroke.
Oh, good lord, it's early.
While Marsh is doing that, I'm just gonna turn to Holmes and be like, "You're a little too excited that someone died."
It's a long journey.
Gives us something to do.
I'm just saying, why not make the most of it? Certainly, there's going to be people grieving, and I might be able to give some closure to those people. Yeah, that's all he's got. So Andrus, Marsh, and Naroke return. Yeah, and...
So here we're putting the bed on.
Yes, indeed. So there was a death in the night, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. Or I believe I will solve the mystery before you will.
You'd sort of seem confident in that.
I'm always confident. I do this for a living. You, on the other hand, I haven't quite pegged what you do for a living, but...
No, the pegging comes after.
Yeah. You keep beating me to my terrible, terrible jokes.
And quite frankly, you don't seem like anyone else on this train.
Well, that's because I'm the only Goliath on the train. So clearly
I'm
that...
a lizard first.
Yeah, fair enough.
So if there's a bet, there's obviously a wager. What are you wagering?
My book of tongues? Oh, go on, Marsh.
Oh yeah, the Book of Tongues for a bag of holding.
Seems like a mediocre deal. Throw in your hat and we've got a deal.
Ooh.
And he goes and offers his hand.
Shakes the hand. Naroke will get a hat.
Detective Naroke.
Naroke's been waiting for a hat for a while. He was hoping for a bowler hat, but the tailor didn't have one when we were there.
Right, you do a hat.
Yeah, we'll have to find a haberdasher specifically.
Yeah, right on. All right, so Holmes, once the rest of the people have cleared off, so as not to be insensitive to Myers by retelling his story to these strangers here, will explain that early that morning, Lord Bates, head of the medicinal company Kruger and Sons, was discovered dead in his sleeping car by his cook, Madame Voorhees, who was bringing him his breakfast.
Oh man, I'm gonna.
So Bates was found dead?
Bates, yes,
Okay.
Lord Bates. Found dead in his. Oh, go on, Marsh.
Oh, I was gonna say, no, I'm good. Never mind.
You're good? Okay. Yeah, discovered dead in his sleeping car by his cook, Madame Voorhees, who was bringing him his breakfast. Lord Bates' physician and confidant, Dr. Lecter, has determined that the death was a result of a heart attack he had in his sleep. And some of you recall seeing a doctor-like person.
Yeah, the
on
orc.
train. Yes. So that was Dr. Lecter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bates had long been receiving medication for his heart condition. It was a well-known fact. Myers seems to think that because of this untimely death, Bates' position in the medicinal company will be handed down to his son Norman. He will He will shortly take over half the company and also stands to inherit all of his father's assets, benefiting greatly from it. Nevertheless, his lab and company partner Myers suspects foul play and wants Bates' death investigated, which is why he approached Holmes. Myers last saw Bates alive in his own car the previous evening when Bates was brought his dinner prepared by Madame Voorhees. You have to find out who killed him, how the murder was perpetrated, and the motive.
Natural causes. He forgot his medicine. Done. You can't prove me wrong unless you'd already know the answer.
Yes! 10 points to Marsh! You win D&D! Oh, right.
So glad that Lecter was not the cook.
Yeah, good point. Did you get all that, Giggle, or was there something else here? He's heard you typing away.
Okay, so we got early morning. Bates was found dead in a sleeping car, found by the cook, Madame Voorhees. Dr. Lecter said that he died of a heart attack. Dr. Lecter was the orc.
Yes.
Said he died of a heart attack. Bates had been taking heart medicine. Bates' death would result in his son Norman, who would benefit, taking over his portion of the company, which would benefit him greatly. Myers wanted it investigated. I think I missed something between Norman and Myers wanting the investigation, though.
The last thing was Myers last saw Bates alive in his own car the previous evening when Bates was brought his dinner prepared by Madame Voorhees.
My boy traveling with his own cook.
Hoity-toity. So well, you don't know who the last person to see him alive was.
Oh, I thought.
Well, the last person to see him alive would have been the person who killed him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Categorically.
Okay, no.
Marsh?
Out of character. First things first. Does Naroke have Zone of Truth?
This could be over real quick.
Oh my god. I got your sheet up right now.
Spells.
No, you do not.
I do not have Zone of Truth prepared at the moment.
Oh my god.
Let me take a look at my actual spells.
Oh my god.
There's
No.
the Zone of Truth.
I can prepare a Zone of Truth.
Oh my god. Alright. 24 hours where you can't.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't finished our long rest, have we?
I think this happened in the morning.
Yeah, it's like the early morning.
Okay.
We don't immediately start with a lie detector, but it becomes unlocked tomorrow.
Oh man.
Hey, we've got some stuff to do first, like actual investigation. I can think of a couple things.
So
It's a situation that would benefit from 1 to 20 rats.
No, see, the situation that will benefit from 120 rats is if Holmes manages to, come up with his explanation first, and then we just, I guess you wanted the bag of holding, and just open it and turn it inside out, and then walk away as the train fills up with rats.
Guys, we cannot do that until the train arrives at its destination.
We'll lock that one cart, it'll be fine.
We'll just unhook the rest of the train from the engine and then just take the engine to destination.
all these people stuck in the middle of nowhere.
With the train ever filling up with rats.
Sorry, I have another game. I have a paladin character, his Zone of Truth, and I've just been so eager to use it. I'm like, oh, he's not in this game, but someone in my game who might have it.
My concern is that my 221 Baker Street game is just gonna be solved like that. But I mean, on the plus side, you still have to investigate.
Yeah.
And also, the Zone of Truth is not like 100% work. There's a will save, I think.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah, they have to make a charisma saving throw, which they can choose to fail. And they can't choose to speak a deliberate lie. And I know whether the creature succeeded or failed on the saving throw. And they are aware of the spell, so it's not like I can question someone and them not be aware of what's going on. Also, they can't lie, but they can choose to not, like, they can, like, sidestep around things. Yeah.
I'm just picturing this, like, you finger gun, like, point at someone, and they're just like, it was me, I killed the cat. Like, they just, like, start word vomiting everything bad they've ever done.
Look, this spell's a bit friendly to DMs. A little bit, not too much.
Just use the in the loop method and just go from room to room, bursting in rooms, being like, "Did you do it?" Terrify them into saying whether they did it or not.
That's awesome.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie.
Here's how you know. If you bust in and say, "Did you do it?" and they say, "Do what?" that means they did it. If they say no, they didn't do it.
Oh, good point.
Not necessarily. You know they did something if they ask, "Do what?"
So my question to my party then is, do you start this saga now, knowing how late it is for Kit? Do we try and press on, or do we start fresh, top of the order, the murder mystery on the Eisenbolt next session?
I think start the thing next session.
How are you two feeling? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know it's midnight or something.
It's 11 p.m. here, yeah.
11 p.m. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I figure if we start fresh at the beginning of our investigation next time, that puts Kit in a better awake state. You know, they're not going to have to start fighting sleep. And plus
to recall clues.
Well, and then considering how much of a fustercluck was created from, well, let's go find the bodies.
I fully expect to overthrow another government while we're on this train.
Somehow we own the Eisenhower company. Don't know why. It's ours. I thought we'd get the medical company, but...
Yes.
Yeah, we speed ran the murder mystery, and then we bugged it, so now we're in charge of the train company, not the pharmaceutical company?
Yeah. So, okay.
I mean, technically we're holding them hostage by destroying their only functional train with an infinite bag of rats in the engine.
That's only if it goes real bad.
Or all we have to do is threaten to put the infinite bag of rats in the engine.
Exactly, that's what I said. We're holding them hostage. Like, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to unleash the bag of rats in your engine.
Please don't destroy the train.
No promises.
Train engine has a rat limit.
Yes. Warning, must not exceed 500 rats.
You're like, what is the train's capacity? It's like, this much? Great, give us 6 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just a fuck you spawner inside the bag of rats.
We shall
20 rats every tick.
So good.
we shall create the
Alright.
rat cannon.
I don't want to see the rat cannon.
I do.
Pneumatic rat delivery system.
We put a gun on this train and just take it as our own.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Sorry, Eyes and Blush. We have a new cooler method of transportation.
Yeah, we can just hop off the train. Just once again, tube with the bag of rats. Just point the bag of rats at the ground, and then shove the bag through. Because then we are now creating propulsion.
Does the bag like eject rats? I thought you put your hand in and just grab a handful.
Yeah, but if you fold it inside out, it dumps out all of its
Yeah.
bag holdings will dump out all their contents.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
so it's now
yeah.
trying to eject infinite rats
You
through a
ever
tube.
wonder- Do you ever wonder once we start using this, we're gonna anger some rat god somewhere?
Oh, I'm fully expecting it.
Just a powerful fae that feels like his minions are being used improperly and seeks revenge.
Let's see, one of the days we're going to reach in and pull out a rat, and it's going to be the Rat King, and it's just going to turn on us.
Yeah.
Faye.
If it is, knowing what I know about Faye, they're gonna find it very funny.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
join in with-
Yeah, that's true. They don't actually care that much for their own at the best of times.
I
Okay.
don't even remember what else we got from I don't even remember what else we got from Dinley. It's just the bag of infinite rats kind of overrode everything.
Yeah, it sort of
Actually,
did it.
I have gloves that do invisible mage hand.
Yeah.
I got my heater shield from that I purchased back in session 1.
Right. Arcane Trickster's Glove, so you can use Mage Hand, Conjure Invisible Hand, and you can do stealthy things with it. And Dominic got the Ring of Second Wind. That's right. Advantages on initiative checks.
I'll
Yeah,
have
the-
to remember that.
The rat bag really did overshadow it.
Yeah. And
Like those
once-
are very useful items. However, bag of infinite rats.
I would post that. I'll post the thing for you, Dominic, in the chat there. But
Thank
also once per day, you can roll your hit die and gain that back in hit points. I recall now why you don't remember. This is when you were having weird computer like eating its face.
Yeah, your
Yes.
computer blue
The
screen.
computer exploded.
And
Yeah.
That's why it all got jarbled. So yeah, there. It's in the chat.
And
so
Calico
yeah,
is like, we're making deals for hats? It's like, those motherfuckers. Like, yeah.
No one's surprised. I am surprised. I shouldn't be.
See, when it comes down to it, though, you, as Kid had said, you gave 2 QA and a dev a bag of infinite anything. So we're going to break things.
The rats didn't seem useful. They seemed inconvenient, unless you were trying to like get a place shut down for health code reasons or something. So my brain didn't go there.
It's a bag. I kind of view the practicality. It's a bag of unlimited distractions.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, we promise not to break your campaign with the bag of infinite rats.
I cannot promise we
Let's
won't break the
fix
campaign with the bag of infinite rats. I cannot promise any such thing. We will try not to
We
destroy
promise not
too
to
much.
Deliberately break your campaign with the bag of infinite rats.
I kinda want our first meeting with the heroes to be rat involved now, just to really get that first impression.
I think it will. Ooh, storm is a brewing here. That's what slammed my door shut, was the cosmic breeze. Anyways. Alright, so we're gonna end it there.
Yep. Mel's like, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah. Zone of Truth. Curses. To my players, thank you for playing. Thank you for the mutiny show that was the end of Greenspire. It was an ending I did not expect for the mayor, but very fitting. And I'm happy that justice for an NPC that I had forgotten about was enacted.
2 NPCs that you had forgotten about.
Yes, technically. And thank you for getting on this train, because you could have said no. You could have told Tallow, that's okay, we'll make our own way. Or, we want to meet the heroes or something. But you went on the train, and I'm very happy with that.
I really want their art autographs, so can we just stay for a couple more days?
See, the great thing about it, too, though, is the heroes currently don't know who we are. So we could probably meet the heroes, get their autograph, fuck off, and then fuck them over with a giant bag of rats.
I
True.
think after they get to the Green Spire, I think they'll start figuring it out who we are, or at least our physical descriptions.
Maybe. Yeah. Thank you to Mel for running this campaign.
Yep.
It has been
Yeah,
a
had a
blast.
lot of fun.
To anyone watching, thank you. It is hailing like crazy here. We gotta close our windows, so sorry to cut it short, but this storm is insane.
Alrighty.
So,
Have
take
a
care,
good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.